see if I can get this stabilized. Oh. Just waiting for people to come in and to join me in the garden. Much earlier than my usual time, of course. Hi, my guys. How you doing, everybody? Yay, Fleur. Hi. How you doing? Is that Gwendo? Hi, lovely. Hello, darling. Varganessa, how you doing, my lovely? Rosie, Jess, hello, guys. Gaia, hi. Koala. Oh, my goodness, Sildy. Evening, fairy godmother. Evening to you, my darling. Buddy, how you doing? Taylor, Rosie? Rosie, you can't hear me. Can everyone else hear me? Let me know, because I've got everything connected, but you never know with these things. So tell me if you can't. Tell me if you can't hear me. You can? Okay, perfect, perfect. So where was I at? Saying hello to all you lovely people. Elisa, hello, all the way from California. And just text me. He's got a load of stuff for his cupboards. He was on a diet, and he was just talking about how the diet finishes. So that was a massive spider over there. How the diet finishes, and he's just going to go all out. And he did not disappoint. Hey, J. Cole, how you doing, darling? Red roses. Hi, cutest coach. You're the cutie. Hello, eyes of your eyes. Hello, Maddie Morgan. Hi. Sean Geezy. Jose, hi from California. Oh, so it's so good to see you guys, and so many familiar faces as well. I always, you know, love to recognize faces and names, because I do my best to read all your comments and to answer all of them as well. So I have a stand here, right? But for some reason, I didn't realize that it will only hold your phone sideways, which is fine for making videos, but apparently not for making lives, because of course then it's like sideways, and apparently this doesn't do it. I wonder actually if I change the rotation. Let me just check and see if this works, because you know me and technology, you know what, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm lucky if I can. I mean, I got so excited that I could stick things on my videos. Let me see. Auto rotate. Let's see. No. Why isn't that working? Okay, so if I go like that, no. It didn't work. Well, there we go. So I'm just going to have to hold the phone like this. So if I'm a little bit wobbly, you know why. Oh, Vaya, it's still in the middle of this dog nightmare. My gosh, it's taking ages, isn't it? Always dealing with authority figures and stuff. Do not worry. There's been some things that I've been dealing with as well. It's not necessarily been a fast fix, but hold strong, my darling, because we've all got your back. Tam Nugan, how you doing? So Sean Geesey from Central Texas. Hi, all the way in Texas. Lois, hello, my babe. Salma, salute. I love how you match your eyeshadow with your necklace. Oh, thank you, honey. You noticed. I haven't done my makeup like this for a long time. I was getting lazy with it, and I thought, why not? A bit of blue. Oops. Hinder. I want to manifest my SP, who is also a manifestation coach. I hope my story works out like you and Joseph. Well, I am the proof that these things can happen and do happen. And to be honest, I didn't really, I don't know. I didn't have like too much of the attachment stuff. I think because I had practiced, I'd done so much with SP manifesting at that point. But I just kind of had this knowing, because they're just a person like everyone else. Try not to see them as like, oh, you know, this big coach or this like celebrity status or something. Because then we do that, we put them on a pedestal, and then it feels really far away. Whereas with Joseph, I don't know. I didn't feel like he was really far away. You know what I mean? But you keep me posted on that. I'm very curious, because there's actually a few of you in similar situations to ones I've had. Red Roses, Athena, I have difficulty in manifesting SP. If no movement, I got triggered and I start to message him and he ignores me. Yeah, darling, do not worry. I mean, when we become dependent, it's like I always said, if you outsource your identity to replies, like the silence then is really going to hurt you. Because the whole time, if you think about it, the whole time you're waiting for someone / something on the outside to make you feel whole, to make you feel good, to make you feel like you're loved and chosen. And that's the challenge about all of this. Like, can you get to a point where you feel really loved and chosen and whole now? You know what I mean? Because if you're really dependent on the movement, that means internally you've not shifted, which is probably why you'll probably notice on your journey that you're getting very kind of like sporadic results, hot and cold. It's a common thing that can happen, you know. Catherine from Rochester had a great success this week with various things, lists and health and Sons GCSEs. Congratulations, Catherine. And yes, for those of you who saw my post and I was saying to you guys, guess the castle. So Catherine got it because she's actually a local, and it was actually Rochester Castle that Joseph and I went to. I'll share something with you guys though, but it's just between us. I didn't realize how scared I was of heights. I knew I didn't like heights, but who's been to Rochester Castle, or to any castle for that matter? Because it just seemed to go on forever. And I think I made it up about like 2 or 3 flights and that was it. Don't even think 3, actually, maybe just 2. And these stairs are so old. I started to get dizzy, Catherine. I don't know if you've been up there. No doubt you have, but my goodness, it was yeah, needless to say, I said to Joey, I was just like, you go on up and you take a look, because he hadn't seen a castle in real life before. So for him, it was like really amazing. For me, I'd done this sort of thing at school and everything, but yeah, no, don't like heights. Jay, you're like me, huh, with tech. Good, I'm glad to know I'm not alone. Rosie, hi from Tennessee, my love. Tam Nukin, hi Athena. I've been in peace regarding my SP situation, but then my friend just told me out of nowhere he's on a dating app, which is shaking my faith a bit since I've been doing well. Any advice? Well, Tam, you know, when you have changed your state, so for example, I know who I am in relation to this desire. Yes, things might happen that might rattle me and stuff. Like, for example, dating app, right? That's a bit kind of like, we don't want to see that. And I don't know too much about your sort of personal situation and the details to be able to go into it in enough depth or say challenge your perception. But say from what you've said here, the reason it's shaken you up is because there's a particular meaning that you've applied to seeing him on the dating app, and it was an automatic meaning, an automatic story. So what is that and why? Like, what does that mean to you? Does that mean, oh my God, they're dating again, or they're trying to date again? That means that they've forgotten me. That means I was discarded. You know, does that mean that you're thinking that you're feeling further away from your manifestation and stuff? Because dating apps mean nothing. I've had so many clients whose SPs have been on dating apps, or ended up on dating apps, or ended up in relationships with third parties, that circumstances are moving and changing all the time. And that doesn't really mean that he's going to, you know, meet someone that he's going to want to remain with. You know what I mean? It just means that maybe he's just opening himself up to, I don't know, out of curiosity, as we often do, or something to like build up confidence. But, you know, dating apps and that it's quite difficult sometimes, I think, to meet people. I was on a dating app for like an entire year before I met Joseph. As you guys know, I was not in the right mindset at the time, and I realized that. But yeah, I was on the dating app and I didn't get a single date. Not a single date. 1 year, 5 dating apps. This is what happens when you're not in the right state of being. And I knew I wasn't. I knew what I was doing, but I let myself do it. Let myself just get it out of my system. Obviously, it didn't, you know, boost my confidence. Elisa, you have some kick-ass jewelry, girl. I love you, darling. Thank you. Sniffy, love your crescent earring. Yeah, this was like from Killstar ages ago. I just wear the one though because they're absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Kerry, so thank you. I think you sent me an email and stuff. So I'll see about booking you, and so you can give me some more context about this, because you said your ex left in March after 8 years. Eventually started thinking positive, stopped checking social media, started manifesting with no visible movement. Now this week, I found out he's met someone. So what do you mean when you say you started manifesting? I always wonder that. People say started thinking positive, but that's not what manifestation is. It's not about thinking positive. Yes, your thoughts might, as a result of shifting your state, your thoughts might naturally gear towards the more positive, as it would. But this sounds to me like it's potentially forced. The reason I say that is, of course, I always look at your language. You said eventually started thinking positive, stopped checking social media, and he started manifesting with no visible movement. That was a big giveaway. And now this week found out he's met someone, and evidently from your messages, you are devastated by this news, which of course is a natural human response. But say from someone who has shifted their state, they would potentially look at this quite differently and not be as derailed by it. So have you shifted, or have you masked a lot of the anxieties or the insecurities that you're feeling through forced positive thinking? You need to ask yourself, because potentially if you've changed, third parties do not feel like such a threat to you. When I had a couple of occasions where I had third party issues because my assumptions were not good in my early 20s and stuff like that, in my younger years. So there was a couple of occasions with third parties, but I never saw them once I shifted, it was hard to see them as a threat or a competition. You see what I mean? And that was just my natural thoughts about it. So where are you? Where are you in consciousness right now? Who are you in relation to your SP, I should say? Fleur, manifesting my ex back. He's been randomly popping up everywhere. Fleur, that is so funny. I had that with a client of mine as well. So that we had a couple of people. We're getting on our Discord space. There we have we host these weekly live sessions. There's a few of my clients always join there after coaching and that, because it sort of keeps them accountable and whatnot. We had a couple of, few of my clients actually, like a handful and that. Some I've already kind of shared their success. Some of them have yet to share. But one of the girls in there, she had absolutely no movement for 2 years. 2 years like nothing, right? And we met up, we did a few hypnosis together. I challenged a lot of her fears and her thinking, because it turned out that she was, I think, more afraid of getting her SP than she realized, which is another issue that people have. We want the love, but we're also afraid to receive it. So we worked on that. And then she started bumping into her SP everywhere, in the most random of places. This is a guy that she hadn't seen for 2 years, and suddenly she can't escape him. And she said, what did she say we had the speed coaching on Tuesday in our group, and she shared with us her story so far. I don't know if you're here, darling, but congratulations. And she had shared that they had a really lovely, it's almost like a romantic day at the beach together. It was so weird. Once again, paths crossed, romantic day at the beach. I can't remember if she said they did some snorkeling or something like that. So this is what happens when you live in a beautiful place like Ibiza, But I love that. It is the beginning, Fleur. It is the beginning. Where are we at? Maddie Morgan, Athena, what would be a good imaginary scene to pick if you want to manifest a friend group? Joseph is great at putting scenes together for people. Because I do my sort of lazy manifesting approach, I tend to ask people to get clear on what it is that they want, and to actually let their subconscious pick out a scene that implies you've got what you want. So think about what it is that's important to you, right? I want to manifest a friend group, right? Okay, what do I want to manifest exactly? The fact that we have this great harmonious friendship group where everyone meets up all the time, where it's regular, or where we get on really well, or do I have a particular friendship group in mind? And then what you're doing is you're capturing that experience. So what's that going to entail? That maybe it's a really great night out where you guys are just laughing so much that your sides are hurting. Maybe introduce a verbal factor to it, an inner conversation, which I find very powerful. So introducing like a kind of like, oh, we have the best group or something, you know, maybe your particular group has a name. I know that my sister calls her group like the magma group, and that's been since university because they're just so close with each other. But something that implies like you're like a tight knit, you know what I mean? Lewis, maybe we can help you get the phone stand to be of use. I know, Lois, it's already getting sore. Well, I'm building up my muscles, right? So I manifested that I would be toned without having to do any exercise, because that's just me, as you know. So maybe this is it. This is my karma. I have nice muscles built by the end of this live. I'm going to lean it like this. Actually, because I'm using my leg now. So Salma, I also done a lot of manifesting of failing half relationships, and it's changed me so much now. My reaction is so different, and the person I manifested is indifferent. He has a master number 33. It's so interesting, actually. It's so interesting. You know what? That's what I say to people as well. Oh, he's a healer. He chose to stick with me because I'll help him understand that and unlock it. But now we're not talking for a week. Oh, okay. So it's kind of shifted a bit. I know he's a healer. He chose to stick with me because I help him to understand and unlock it. So who does that make you in his world? That doesn't make you a partner. You know, that makes you like some sort of I don't know, like a teacher or something like that. You know, I'd help him to understand it and stuff. Remember, what role are you applying to this relationship? Because then that's why, you know, you're probably feeling discarded now, because it's like I was only useful to help him understand his power. Rosie, the most recent castle I went to was Hearst Castle in California. So how old is Hearst Castle? I'll mention that to Joey when he's done off his call. Because, yeah, Joey had never seen a castle and stuff. I know he lived in San Diego and he was in California for 8 years, wasn't he? But he'd never seen a real-life castle before. And, yeah, darling, I'm thinking about him in a playful way. Don't really obsess. He's also American, far away, but I'm believing that he's the one ignoring the 3D. Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. And then this is the coach, right? I mean, look at me and Joey, the thousands of miles apart. He didn't know I existed. We had absolutely no connection whatsoever. And at that time, I didn't have a channel. I wasn't coaching. It was a desire of mine, a seed that I had intended and planted. But at that point, I was nowhere near setting up anything, because I was already, I think I just finished at the bank maybe or something like that. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And everything was just a bit up in the air with my life. I was already in a relationship. He was in a relationship then. But like I say, things shift and move all the time immediately. So from planting that seed, the bridge grew. And yes, our bridge did take 4 or 5 years, but we had a lot of events that needed to unfold before we came together. A lot of events. But I didn't actually care about the distance. It's funny, like distance to me, it's almost like I didn't see it. Have you guys ever had that? You know, when you're aware of something, but it's sort of like in your side periphery, like I'm aware that it's there, but I kind of discard it. You know, that kind of feeling. That's how I felt about like the distance or the obstacles. We don't know each other. He's got, at that point, you know, he had like I don't know, 30 or 40,000 subscribers, say roughly. He was getting like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views on his videos. And evidently, like a lot of the girls in the comments I could tell were after him and were manifesting him. So I could have focused on all of these obstacles. And I don't know, it was like a very natural disregard, because I'd already shifted, you know, I'd already decided. Fodini, hi, Fodini, yes, darling. I mean, that's a Greek name. I don't know if you are Greek, or if you're the same Fodini from before, because I haven't seen you for ages otherwise. Nice, another New Yorker in the house. Hi, James Rodriguez. I see you around all the time. I love it. What I'm going to do is... Room butter, hi, gorgeous. I'm in my SP journey. 4 years now, manifested him back multiple times, lost him to third parties, now zero movement for a longer time. After I told him off, stonewalled him. Any advice? Oh, room butter. Well, as you said, 4 years you've been on the journey and you've manifested him back multiple times. So you manifesting him back is evidently not an issue. And I say that to a lot of my clients as well. I mean, everyone's story and situation is different, obviously. But many of my clients don't have issue when it comes to manifesting their SP in the first place. The longevity, like keeping that relationship, is an issue. And that's because you're dealing with a deeper story. You're dealing with subconscious patterns and assumptions at that point. So you said you've lost him to 3 Ps now. So if that is a regular occurrence, there is some assumptions set in there about you not being a priority, perhaps, or not being chosen, or you always having to fight for the things that you want. There's always going to be competition. So start to create and stack the new assumptions, right? Try to engage by stacking new assumptions and understand, okay, no, the new me is inherently chosen and worthy simply because I exist, right? You know, I do not worry about competition because the bonds that I have with my partner are irreplaceable, are unique. You know, the men that I love or the women that I love. So you keep them very general. And Joseph's got a video, assumption stacking, which I know many of you have been using. It's such a simple approach. We've had so many people in our private community doing it with each other. Joseph's been hosting these assumption workshops so that he can help people individually, like in a Discord. And that combined with like the hot seating stuff I've been doing as well to challenge people's old fears, like it's such an easy process of like stacking these new assumptions and everything. And it's brought on really, really incredible results. So go and check that video out and start to think, okay, we have a pattern here. And that's the pattern that needs to be addressed. Those assumptions that's causing this pattern with like third parties and this breakdown. And evidently there's something else. You told him off, you stonewalled him. So it's like, are you trying to protect yourself from the very thing that you want? And if so, what is the fear trying to protect you from? Clockwork Angel, do you need to do an imaginal scene perfectly in order to manifest? If not, what do I have to do to get it right? I feel so anxious when I start off initially and have felt that it's difficult to make it go. So Clockwork Angel, you don't need to do an imaginal scene perfectly. Majority of my scenes happen in the shower. I have done sats. I've had scenes that have been very vivid, and I've had scenes that have been very blurry. For me, it's just about getting lost in an experience. And some days I can't actually visualize, like see anything. So I will just, you know, if I can't visualize or see anything in that, then I will just rely on, for example, like an inner conversation. What would I hear that would imply that this situation, this issue has been taken care of? That's going to help me to embody it. Because you say, you know, you start, you know, you feel so anxious when you start off initially, right? And that's because you've made just the process of imagining the technique itself, the power, which it isn't. Like, you don't actually need to sit there doing a perfect imaginal scene to manifest anything. Like, you can manifest from making a strong decree. You can manifest from making a strong decision. Many of the time we've done that before, where we've had like this sort of emotional charge where we've just been like, okay, this is the last time this happens, the last time I'm going to do this, right? From now on, I want this. And I've manifested so many times just doing that. So try not to put the imaginal scene on the pedestal. Even you could sit down and sort of script as though you are already that person, and scripting out like a day in the life of how that person, how that version of you perceives things, how they're spending their day, what would be different. That's another way to do it, which might ease you into the whole imaginal process and alleviate some of this anxiety, because the anxiety is pressure. And if you're trying to imagine from pressure, it will not impress anyway. You have to be in a sort of relaxed, open state. Perhaps if you like to use some of my, you know, I've got the guided hypnosis and stuff on my channel. I mean, this stuff is all freely available, guys. I've made so much available on my channel. You know, Joseph and I don't hold anything back. So, and I think Joe's done a video as well on like step-by-step visualizing. I have done a video too about visualizing in different ways to do it, particularly, you know, if you autistic or ADHD or, you know, any other issue that can make it quite difficult to concentrate and focus on an imaginal act. So dating apps are the worst. I know, right? Mandy Lung, hi. I notice I feel guilty that I messed up a good relationship with SP. I think that SP is the best choice for me, but I have trouble thinking I'm the best choice for him. Okay, darling. So actually what I'm doing is I'm encountering many people who harbor a lot of guilt. How many of you are making yourselves guilty for stuff that's happened in the past? Because you know that coming into this community and being a conscious creator, kind of like this double-edged sword, right? Because on the one hand, it's very empowering to know that your circumstances do not have power over you unless you allow it. It's very empowering to know that your assumptions can shift and change your reality. But unfortunately, there's the other side of that too, where people come into this community, they analyze their patterns. Evidently, as you guys know, I break down a lot of what I do with my clients, right? The client success stories, all the time breaking down, you know, what I did with them, how we looked at their pattern, their language. And yes, for some people, it's that stark realization that, oh my God, the way that I was acting and behaving, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea I was pushing them away. I had no idea. And it can be a very bitter pill to swallow. But please don't ever use the law of assumption as a blame game. I have mentioned this in videos numerous times. I still get emails from people and stuff saying about, you know, they're like in this helpless trap of blame and guilt. And that is just another way for the old identity to win. Let's keep you as a victim so you don't move, you don't shift. And that's not to say that your old identity is something that you need to fight, by the way. You're going to take a lot of elements of that old identity with you to your next part of your reality. It served a purpose. It's protecting you. And that guilt, as long as you carry that guilt, Mandy, it's going to keep protecting you from the very thing you want, which is the loving connection. I mean, that's the reason it didn't work in the first place as well, right? You know, the fear that was keeping this at bay, the fear that was keeping you from occupying the state of being the partner, the girlfriend, the equal. This is not something to feel guilty about. You're not a bad person. You just didn't know. You just had assumptions that came with you since your childhood that were there to protect you. You were protecting yourself. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. You weren't doing anything vindictively to pain him or hurt him or harm him. You were just thinking about, what do I need to feel more relaxed? And of course, we pressure the very people that we love, or the 3D or whatever it is, pressure, give me the movement, give me the love, give me the textures, you know. And that's why I say it's so important that there is no one and nothing to change but itself, because you could have the perfect relationship staring right in front of you, which many people that I have worked with do have to a degree, but they do not recognize it at all. Do not recognize it because of their assumptions. So try not to fall into a state of guilt and blame and shame, my darling. Use this as an opportunity now for your growth. You know, you worked with me privately. Let those feelings dissipate, work through the guilt and the shame, understand that you're not a victim, you're an operant power and creator right now. Understand that you can change it, understand that this had to happen in order for you to change it. Otherwise, you would have had this program running on autopilot for the rest of your life. Many people in this world do. You've been fortunate enough to have been given a situation that was painful, but had it not been painful, you would not have moved. So it's all working in your favor. Okay, it's all working in your favor. This goes for all of you guys. It's all working in your favor. It really is. I'm not even just saying that to comfort you. It genuinely is. Kathy, my darling, hello, my love. Hi, sweetie. I'm a little bit behind with my messages. How behind am I? Oh, Jesus. I'm very, very behind. Oh, gosh. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. Let me have a look at, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, what do you call it? I'm going to scroll my way down because I want to try and get through as many different people as I can. Let's see. Who have I not responded to? How about you, Demino? Hi, Athena. Is it a big problem if the answer to the question, who am I in my SP's world, is a successful content creator? I'm manifesting being a content creator too. It happens so naturally that I'm struggling to disconnect them, but I really don't want to link this to my SP manifestation. Of course, at the moment, my SP doesn't know I exist. Demino, who am I? I'm a successful content creator. Doesn't really align. I mean, you're a successful content creator aligns with your desire to be a successful content creator, but who are you in your SP's world is in terms of, you know, chosen, loved, their soulmate, their partner. Like, who are you? For many people, they're occupying a state of unchosen, unprioritized, unsafe, unsecure. See what I mean? So that's what we mean. Like, who are you in your SP's world? How would they perceive you, even though he doesn't know you yet? Like with Joseph and stuff, I mean, I'd already decided, like, my imaginal scene that I'd locked onto was a very boring, nothing scene, actually, of us hanging out and just feeling that connection and feeling his attraction to me. So in his world, you know, I was attractive, desirable. He wants to be with me. We're friends. You know, I actually felt a lot from that really boring, nothing scene. And also the scene was like happening outside Costa's, which is a bloody nightmare, actually. I wish I didn't, because we go to Costa's like pretty much every day. Joseph is always either getting a discount or a free coffee, and he's made a friend who's actually a friend in my friendship group, but I didn't really get as close to this guy. He's more of an acquaintance. But for Joey, they've become like the best of friends and stuff. So you know how Joey has always, for those of you who follow Joseph's content for a while on his list method, it's always going on about getting free coffees. He's found a way to get like consistent free coffees. The law is crazy, but I tell you, some peeps just came in to sing happy birthday to me. I'm 16. Oh my god, Elisa, congratulations. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Happy birthday. You are amazing, and here's to many, many years of happiness for you, my lovely. Health and happiness. Jen, I have an issue even getting my SP to just call me. So Jen, instead of trying to get your SP to just call you and stuff, I mean, what are you waiting for? What does that call represent to you? And when you don't have it, who are you without that call? Who are you in your SP's world without that call? The one who is waiting, the one who doesn't know, the one who is, you know, wishing and hoping to be chosen, to be picked, the one who's accepting the breadcrumbs because of a lack of confidence or something. Remember, they can only respond to who we are. They will always mirror that energy. So if there is a part of you that's desperately trying to get this person to call, you'll be giving away a heavy pressuring energy, and they have, you know, they have a natural inkling to pull away from that, you see, or to go even more quiet. Big Cheese, I love that. Big Cheese, hi darling, hi Athena. I've just been blocked the day after asking if they wanted to go to the fair with me. I tried to imagine seeing us on the, is that like the big wheel? Seeing them and my friends, seeing them and my friends said they were staring really hard, but where's the rest of your message gone? It's a problem with this, you see. We have when you do lives on YouTube, it's so limited, isn't it? Because you can only put a couple of lines. What I will say to you, darling, based on what I can see here anyway, Big Cheese, you said the day after asking if they wanted to go to the fair. So I don't know your situation with them. It's an unusual thing that they have blocked you after asking, unless, of course, there is a history here and an ongoing thing that perhaps you might have been pursuing more than this person was ready to accept, or if you were dating before or something like that, and perhaps there was a bit of a bitterness. I don't worry about blocking anyway, as you guys know. I've been blocked from in all of my main SP journeys. Actually, I was blocked for various reasons. People block not necessarily for bad reasons, though. It's not always a case of just like a rejection or something like that. Like my first SP said he just did not want to see me move on with anybody else. My second SP said exactly the same thing as well, and said that he just cared for me too much and just needed that period of recalibration and just to like just shut me out kind of thing. That was his healing. So don't be worried too much about the blocking. But you said, I wanted to go to the right. I tried to imagine us on like the big wheel and stuff. So, but what is your end? Because anytime we start to imagine and manifest the middle, we'll always be left disappointed. First of all, we'll be potentially trying to manifest a bridge that's already in motion and stuff. And if I'm like trying to imagine that, okay, like someone comes to this event with me, but what does that mean? Because your imaginal acts and your techniques are designed to change your state, right? It's designed to change your identity. That's why you engage in it. People have misconstrued it as this is a way to control the reality. If I imagine we're going on the big wheel, then we're just going to go on the big wheel and stuff, right? But the thing is, that imaginal act might not come to fruition this time. It could come, you might go to, you might go on the big wheel, like, I know, another year or two or whatever down the line at another fair. But the thing is, that's not even your end result. That's not even what you want. Hello, baby. Look, I had to, so I don't have a stand. So I've been holding it.
Do you want me to get something?
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Oh, you're cold.
Yeah. So
you should hold the bean.
It's a wee bit chilly.
Do you want me to get you my machine? I think it's awesome.
You still have to hold it though, right?
Yeah, but it's better than this fucking thing. You can at least kind of, I don't know. It's up to you. Totally up to you.
Yeah, because I was thinking actually the other stand I have. I mean, look at this.
Why isn't this well, I guess it's not meant for this angle, huh?
And you can't do it sideways, can you? I tried to flip it, but
I don't think once you start, you're toast, I think.
Oh.
Hello. Let me shave this beard.
What do you think of this floof? His was it razor shaver thing? Blew up yesterday.
Exploded at like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Literally.
So it's stuck with face fuzz.
I've ordered it. It should be here by now, I think.
Oh, hello, baby. You gorgeous boy.
The bean.
This is the bean. I was saying, Bean's been coaching as well. He's like quite the expert.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
Aren't you, Bean? You're quite the expert, really. You're such a good boy.
With the long tongue.
He could whip you with just his tongue. Whip you to death with just his tongue.
If you switch sides, I can hold it if you want. If your arm is getting tired.
Yeah.
Or I can get my device thing. I can get that thing. That thing is awesome.
I'm trying to find.
I don't want to screw it.
That's actually not too bad. I could lean it like this because I've kind of got it on my knee.
But if we switch sides, I'll hold it if you want for a few minutes. I have my other call, I think, soon. I should probably check.
You have another call?
Yeah.
It's the thing when you're in demand. Listen. Hey, Athena, things have improved between me and my SP. But lately he started a new job and is exhausted from meeting me every week. And exhausted from meeting me every week to didn't meet me for 2 weeks now. Do I see it as a competition or not? Listen, first of all, congratulations that things had improved with your SP. Secondly, you're my client, right? Unless there's another person with the same name. So evidently you've been applying the work that we've done together. I hope you can hear me okay. I just realized that this microphone is like sinking all the way. It's sinking all the way down. It's pulling my top down with it.
Oh.
How embarrassing.
Well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
We'll just hold it like this.
Here, I'll hold it.
You hold the little
Yeah,
microphone.
I got I can rest it on Coco.
There we go. So, darling, congratulations, like I said, on that movement, because you've evidently been applying the work that we did.
You better make sure they can still hear, though. Should be able to.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay,
as long as you don't press it too hard, because it's got a button there that's probably going to.
No,
and
I'm just letting it sit here.
But as you say, it hasn't met you for 2 weeks. So it's exhausted after work. Okay. And I don't know if it's like a new job or something like that, or a new position, darling. But remember, are you in competition with it? Because you're not. But how are you seeing this? Are you seeing this as, oh, it's just a little temporary thing? Or like, can you see through that circumstance? Or are you seeing it as, oh, no, there's like some of the old assumptions, or I'm competing with this work, or I'm starting to feel insecure, or what's coming up for you? What would you say, Joey?
Oh, what's up, Stefan? That's what I say.
Oh, Stefan.
That's what I have to say.
Stefan, how are you doing? Who's this one? Okay.
Yeah, I've got to run in a few. You need more admins. You should put like Stefan as an admin, you know, like a mod.
Yes.
So scroll up a little, because that's where his message was. There he is.
Stefan, are you there?
Just add him anyway.
I'm going to add you, Stefan.
Yeah, up at the bottom one. There you go.
Okay.
Stefan, you are now a moderator.
Just because you're always here, I know you.
You're trustworthy. If he's still here, he might be gone now, but
he might be gone.
Stefan is a trusted moderator. Everyone, a round of applause for Stefan, please.
We love Stefan.
Yes.
Oh, this person is like really kind of.
So put him in timeout. Don't just delete it, and then it will remove all of it.
Well, I've reported it. So where are we at? Because I'm actually quite. Hi, Robert. How you doing, Robert? With your little doggy? Just tuned in. Welcome. Manifest my SP. So user 85. Manifest my SP. The other part of me truly struggles. That it is a possibility. Though I know my current SP is not. What is that? H, the previous SP that died last year. I still feel like he's the proof I can't manifest an SP. I think, have I got that? Manifest my SP, the other part of me truly struggles.
That it's a possibility.
And is that because of what happened to your previous SP that passed away, darling? Is that what you mean? I feel like he's the proof I can't. So your mind has locked on to an event and there's attached an eternal meaning to it, right? Because I was manifesting a previous SP and they've passed away. That is the proof that I'm never going to be able to manifest any SP. And you notice how the mind turns an event into a pattern, an ongoing pattern, right? Which is, it isn't the case. I have a client story actually, and she hasn't yet shared with me the full of her success story, but I will share it with her in detail. I will share it with you guys in detail when she's ready to share that. And it was for her initially, she was manifesting a specific person that passed away. It's happened to a couple of people actually in the community, hasn't it? That was really devastating for her. But what had happened is that she had, and I'm not saying this is the same for everybody, but for her specific case, she had met someone who very much mirrored the characteristics, and that down to a T, of this other SP. It was like all the characteristics and more. It was like really amazing. But yeah, try not to let that become a rule in your life now, that, okay, just because this happened, it means I'll never manifest an SP, or just because I've been bad with money in the past, I'll never be able to manifest wealth or health. Because it's not true, your past doesn't determine who you can be today and any other day. Elwin, thank you, my darling, for the lovely donation and super chat. It's really, really sweet of you to say, hi, Athena, not a question, just a message to say, massive manifestation came through, and it took 1.5 years, crazy bridge, and I'm analyzing it. Oh my God. Erwin, well, thank you so much for the generous donation, darling. That was ever so kind of you. And Erwin, I I love it because I see your messages all the time and you're always a ray of light. She's a fantastic manifester. What happens, Erwin? Do you want to, if you've got time and stuff, do you want to email me like what had happened and everything? Because I can share it either on my website. I've been saying to the Discord members as well, like the messages that I receive, like the successes that I see from my like clients or emails that I receive or something. I screenshot, I put it in our Discord success stories now to keep everyone motivated. So yeah, I'd really love to hear it. But congratulations, darling. As you say, 1.5 years. Crazy bridge. And I love that about manifestations too. I love reflecting back on how things happened and how bridges unfolded and stuff. Is kind of like with you. I mean, what an incredible bridge. The majority of the time we didn't know it was happening. We didn't know it was unfolding because we couldn't have done, because we were like thousands and thousands of miles away from each other.
I feel like I'm interviewing you with this little microphone. Yes, tell me more, please. Tell me more.
Well, back in the day when I was living on Mars and the river was chocolate ice cream. What would you like to ask me, actually?
The river was chocolate ice cream.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Wow.
I would swim in that and just drink it all day long.
Oh, Coco, it's stressing me out, bud.
I know. Look at him. He's such a baby.
Hello, everybody.
So attached to you.
Look at the bean. Look at him. He is like a blanket and a loving being at the same time. Isn't that right, Coco? Do you have anything to say, Coco Bean? He did just make some noises like... He knew. He knows we're talking about.
He knows the game.
Yeah.
Where are we at? You want to answer? You want to ask something?
Let me answer a question, and then I got to run aside. Throw me a question.
Fodini, oh yes, I knew it was you, Fodini. Yes, Diganis, my darling. I'm sending you loads of love. Oh, Nicole Abdullah. I'll be seeing you soon, Nicole, for our session. Best couple ever. Kathy, oh hi,
Joseph.
So nice to see the two of you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. You're all so sweet. Athena, Joseph, what if my bridge is he's getting married with a third party? I'm so scared. I'm scared of the bridge. Is that actually the bridge, darling? Is that actually that's a fear?
Yeah, that's a hard
What would you
one.
say? I'll let you answer because you
what if my bridge is he's getting married with the third party? I'm so scared. I'm scared of the bridge. Well, so if you're in fact saying this bird over here, by the way, it's been coming and like eating
it's a
eating little grubs and stuff. Look, it's done it. It's already done it. It knows exactly where everything is.
I wonder if you guys can see it. It's over there.
Is that a robin?
It's a robin.
Look, he's looking at us. He's like, yo, what do you look at you alien looking people?
Little robin redbreast. And they're actually there. You don't see them that much.
No, and there was one. He came the other day on my live and he ate a grub and ran away. And I watched the whole thing.
It might be the same one. They're actually like really territorial, apparently, and stuff. It's just
hello,
fat round thing. It's so cute. Oh, and he doesn't seem to be too scared either.
I'm telling you, I think it's the same one.
Here? Anyone manifesting robins here? Because this is kind of weird.
I'm telling you.
It's not even bothered. It's just like chilling. Hello.
Hello. Are you looking for your next meal or are you looking straight at us? I can't tell anymore.
Help yourself, my friend. Help
yourself. If your manifestation, if the bridge is actually entailing that they are engaged and getting married, I mean, it's not over till the fat lady sings, they say, you know. And if you've imagined your end, you know, you don't know what bridge is going to spin in what direction to get you to where you need to go. So I wouldn't count it off. You got to get rid of that fear, though, man, because here's the thing. This is the God's honest truth, is whether this moment is your moment on this bridge or if it's a week from now or a month from now, you don't control the bridge. And so there's no benefit to worrying over the bridge. There's literally, like, if you logically made a mathematical statement to describe or figure out what was the logically best thing you could do, it would not be to worry. Worry causes spinning out thoughts. It causes horrible imaginings. It's just nothing good about it, right? The best possible way to look at, or the optimal way to carry on, is to imagine your end when you've done it, as you've done it, if you've done it, and then try to detach, because you're not going to change what's going to happen right now. You've already set your end. And if you've set your end properly, There's no need to worry about it. You see, there's nothing that can stop you from getting your end. There's nothing that can stop you from getting your end. So, do a little inventory to check if you've imagined, have you visualized, have you scripted, have you imagined after the end? Have you worked on assumptions? If you've done so, then you have to rest assured there's no benefit to worrying. None. Zero. So that's it.
I mean, I get that. On a logical case, I get that. But someone say who struggles with like
for me,
severe anxiety.
I get you.
disorder,
That's what helped me though when I had my most extreme anxiety. My most extreme anxiety, logic is what ended up like, because I believe in logic, right? You believe in science, you believe in the world, you believe in consistency, you believe in patterns. We know everything in the world is consistent. We know patterns are the same. People generally think the same. People generally act the same, meaning person to person to person. So when you analyze things and you find patterns that can make like that are true, that brings some normalcy to your life. It brings predictability again instead of this fear and doubt and insecurity. See what I'm saying? That's why I tend to lean towards it. But you may have a different.
No, logic is good. I mean, there's been times I'll get really anxious where I'll just be like, okay, let me just kind of like strip it down to what's actually happening on a logical level. Because the thing, fear is illogical, irrational.
Guys, I have to go.
He has to leave us. Can you believe this?
I have to leave you.
What a disgrace. How dare you be busy? How dare you be busy?
Dude, I know, man. I'm like, dude, it's like, how dare I? It's like, I'm here in your country and I'm busy.
I know. Gives you the right. Gives you the right. Now
I got to go.
Now I don't feel chosen.
I know.
No. Love you, baby. Go and be free.
Bye, guys.
Let me see if I can attach
Think
this.
about it, Coco.
Are you taking the bean, huh?
Where is he?
I know, that's true. No, he will probably come with you, actually, because he'll go wherever the food is and wherever the warmth is.
Right, that's how you make yourself feel better. Wherever the food is, wherever the Joe is.
Are you staying with me, Bean? Are you? Okay, you might stay with me for a little while on this rickety bench.
You left me. You left me.
Yeah, see, Beanie's not impressed. There you go. Where are we at? Let me scroll down the bottom. Amara Goddess, thank you so much for the donation, sweetie. That's ever so kind of you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for your sweet generosity. I really appreciate it. Amara, did you have a question, darling, or were you just being sweet? God, I love you guys. That's so sweet. I didn't even see that. Amara, thank you. I thought I could like it. I can't figure this thing out. Fifth dimension, how do I stay in the end as being his wife while the 3D is as it is? So the good thing is, and I've done many videos about this, but living in the end is not some weird delusional practice that a lot of people think that it is, where you have to somehow stay consciously in the end, I am his wife, and think that way every day until your manifestation comes in. I mean, first of all, it's going to cause a lot of cognitive dissonance and discomfort because of that. And secondly, it's just not necessary. I mean, that's like delusional pretending practice, which I know many people have been teaching it that way. But essentially, when you occupy the end state, you're doing so in imagination. And that's the only time really that you occupy the end. What is that on your fur being? That's the only time that you occupy your end. So your end scene might suggest being married with your partner and, you know, just living a day of being the wife, for example. When I come out of that imaginal scene, though, I am carrying on. Like when I was imagining the scene with Joseph where he's attracted to me, we're connected, we're laughing, you know, what that scene was, what it implied. I carried on living my life. And for a lot of the time, I didn't actually think about him after a while because the bridge was obviously quite long. So it didn't really continuously come into my thoughts. Kind of like you kind of push it aside or kind of don't really think that it's, you know, enough time passes. You kind of, I don't know, just don't really think it's going to happen in some cases. But I was, you know, I was with someone else at the time, or as the years progressed and I was dating someone else kind of thing. So it was like I was just kind of carrying on. I wasn't living my life as though I was married to Joseph or even with Joseph. That's it. You sit on me and you keep me warm. You're such a good boy. Why? But why is it being, of all the places that a dog wants to lick you, they want to try and get in your mouth somehow? Why is it? Huh? You're such a good boy. Yeah, you're such a good boy. You're all tongue. I hope you guys can still hear me as well. I'm very aware of this microphone that keeps... I'm going to tuck it in my brassiere. This has become a little X-rated, this live. You see? You see? A little bit of an X-rated live there. Just like tucking this into my bra. Just because the microphone, it's not like it's heavy, but it's like pulling pulling my dress down. To give the neighbors like a nice view. Why not, you know? Maybe someone's manifesting that. Who knows? So where am I? Yes, Leeson. Yes, I am. Actually, I do see the situation as temporary. Something just so Spiral, he might go silent for 2 days. Okay, you pull myself back. Good, Lee, because you should know better, Leeson. You and I have worked on this together. You know, this is why things have changed so wonderfully for you. So don't let a sudden change now in his employment derail you, because life is moving and changing all of the time. I accidentally scrolled down too far in the comment section. There was a doggy getting groomed that looked like Coco. No way, Rosie. Oh, that is so cute. Thank you for your answer. I think I have to work on my impatience. I'm building this identity and it will take the time needed. You're welcome, user 85. You're welcome, darling. It is going to take time. You guys just got to be patient with yourselves, you know? Oh, and user 85, you're from France. Bonjour. Ça va? I hope you're doing well. But yeah, you've got to give yourselves time to shift, because a lot of these things, they don't happen overnight. And I think that's the biggest problem, that people do get very impatient because, of course, you know, you want your desires. But think of it, the impatience from the lack of it, from the absence of it, is demonstrating an internal lack. And if manifestation is regarding our identity and the world shifts in accordance to the state that we occupy in consciousness, our internal fulfillment is everything, isn't it? So if I am impatient, it's evidently because I'm in lack and I require, it's not just about wanting is okay, but I actually require this to happen before I can actually say that I am this, before I can actually accept internally that I am this, that I'm chosen, that I'm wealthy, that I'm healthy, you know. And isn't it saying in scripture, you know, let the weak man say I am strong. Yeah, you know what, you might be weak right now, but let you actually decree and declare that you're strong right now in consciousness, because that is what changes everything. But you're right, to change state, when I work with people, I change their state really quite quickly. Those of you who've worked with me, you know, we can change your state and your perception quite quickly. However, the nurturing of that state so that it becomes your default go-to might take a little bit of time. Okay, and everyone is different. There is no normal, there is no, please don't, you know, make comparisons to other people. Everyone's journey is unique, and all of your journeys are beautiful in their own way. What is this, Amara Goddess? There you are, Amara Goddess. So thank you, sweetheart, for your donation. I tried to like it. There we go. I want to like that stuff because that's very sweet. Dear Athena, sometimes I wonder if I'm in the Sabbath or if I've given up. I don't feel need anymore, like I'm forgetting, but I still want it. So Amara, I mean, that is like the best place to be, right? You don't, so I have some desires that I've set. I want my desires. Like, for example, I love this place, but this was my perfect home manifestation like 8-9 years ago now. It suited me 8-9 years ago. I can't remember how many years I've been living here, roughly that. It suited me then. But now with Joseph in our life, the way that it is, it doesn't suit now. So now I've set new intention. I want that new intention, new house, bigger house and stuff. Hasn't happened yet. It's been, say, over a year or something like that. Maybe that I've set this intention and that. But you still want it. It's okay to want for your desire. But I don't have like the desperate neediness for it. I'm quite content at the moment knowing that I'm not stuck here. And I think that's the difference. See, that's why you can deal with impatience so much easier, because you're content in the present. You're moving through the present as that version of self anyway. And so reality will conform. So I would say, Amara, based on what you're saying, to give up usually comes from an exacerbated place, a kind of victim space, a kind of like, this is never going to happen for me kind of space, so I give up. There you go, Beanie. Just cuddling up there to my little boy. He's so precious. I love him so much. Yeah, so giving up is kind of like that energy. But to feel quite content, to look at life through the perception of having, i.e., for example, when I look at this house, right, if I was not in the right state, I'd probably be like, God, I hate it here and I'm so stuck here, and every day would feel painful, right? But because I'm not in that needy, lacking state, I'm okay. Like I said, I'm quite content. So Amara, you're probably feeling the same way too as well. If you feel quite content in relation to your desire, like you're all right with it and without it, that you're fulfilled, that yeah, you want it, that is your aim and it's happening, then yes, I would say that you are in the Sabbath state, and your perception will also be in alignment with that, i.e., you will see opportunities perhaps where you once saw obstacles, or if it's relation to a specific person, the way that you look and think about them will be different. It'll be aligned with that version of you, like it was for me. It won't be like, oh, I wonder who else they're dating, they forgot me. It'll be like, I wonder when we're going to see each other. I wonder, I'm looking forward to them seeing me. I'm sure them, I wonder if they're missing me and stuff. So that's how you can tell, pretty much. I love that, Rosie. My daughter loves fat birds. My sister loves fat birds too. I do as well. Esther Ness, are you familiar with Bashar? I am familiar with Bashar. And even though Bashar is more kind of, there's a law of attraction blend there as well. But I for the most part, quite like Bashar's teachings. Like I say, I went around the houses, but I always came back to Neville. Neville was my ultimate favorite. But yeah, Bashar's the guy who's like channeling, isn't it? I don't know about the whole channeling business, kind of like with Abraham Hicks. But I do like what they have to say a lot of the time. So Hannah Eggers, thank you so much for the donation, Hannah. And I've seen your name around too. I've seen you in my comment section. So thank you for being part of this community. You say, hi, Athena, it's so nice to see you. A week ago, I had a job interview for a dream position. I still haven't heard anything. Do you have any advice on what to do? Yeah, Hannah, we've had quite a few people like this, even on our Discord, on the speed coaching, not that long ago, actually, there was a girl on there who had a specific job and she didn't get it. Now, it varies, right? Sometimes we can really set a strong intention for something, the particular job or the particular career that I want, for example. And then we see this job and we go for it and we're like, that's the job, that's the career. But actually, that wasn't. It was like a foreshadowing of what was to come. So that can be one of the things that has happened if you don't get it. But then again, as you say, it's a job for a dream position, right? Just because you haven't heard anything yet, it's only been a week, mind you. It's only been a week. That doesn't mean you're not going to get it. And even if they were to say no, that also doesn't mean it's the end. Because I have also had that. Like there was another, and I can't even remember who it was on our speed coaching, but and I think the job was for her son, I think it was, or something. But she had said her son had gone for this job. They were so convinced he was going to get it. He didn't get it. But then something had happened and the company actually created a job that ticked all of the boxes. It was the exact same, ticked all the boxes, and that was the job that he got. So he didn't get that. Did you want to get up, Bean, or what are you doing? Kind of sitting on me, and I'm not too sure if you're a bit I'm not too sure if you're a bit flatulent all of a sudden. What's happened? It's like having a kid, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you're just so cute, really, but you're a fidget. So what I would say, darling, is keep true to your end goal of what it is that you want, because really it's about that position, isn't it? It's not just the job itself. It's like the position. It's like what it allows you to do, what the perks are, you know, what the skills are required and stuff like that. So focus in on that, embody that, and then let this bridge unfold. Because either this particular job, you're thinking on a human level, it's the dream job, but your higher self knows, no, this is preparation for your actual dream job, or this is the job and it's just been a week and you're going to hear and you're going to get the good news. But either way, you win. You win. Because I had that too. I kept on going for all these interviews to be a Scrum Master, thinking that that was my job, that was my next thing. But I had set an intention already for the kind of work that I wanted. I wanted to work from home. I wanted to do this, that. And yes, I did manifest a job that gave me all of those. However, I didn't want to work in a corporate environment. So that was my dream. There was a dream job that I had for a while. And then from that, I was like, okay, let me learn to be a Scrum Master. And I went for all these interviews and everyone really liked me. But I kept getting rejected and I couldn't understand it. And then I realized, I was like, of course, because I thought that's what I really wanted, but it wasn't. I thought that was the role that was going to give me what I wanted, but it wasn't. Of course it wasn't. This was. Oh, I hope I'm not shaking too much. It is getting a wee bit on the chilly side. So I'm actually really glad that Joey, that Coco is staying here and being my heated blanket right now, because my goodness. David, what is the best way to know our assumptions by ourselves? Best way, darling, is look at your 3D reality. 3D reality is your mirror, it's your feedback loop. Many people, that's why I say to you guys, like, please do not ignore the 3D. Don't ignore the 3D. Don't pretend like it's not happening. Don't be afraid of the 3D. Use it as your feedback loop. We're human, so of course we're going to have, you know, fearful emotions, hurt emotions. We're going to go through the spectrum of emotions. That's fine. But the 3D in itself is always going to be a mirror extension of you. And when you think of it that way, and you think about how it's always changing and stuff, think about it working in your favor. I mean, you can learn a lot from the 3D. When things happen that I might find unfavorable, I use it to try and ascertain, okay, is this a pattern? Here you go, baby. Here you go. I try to ascertain whether or not it's a pattern, i.e., you know, do all of my relationships end up the same sort of way or make me feel the same way? Do all of my job situations end up the same way? You know, what is the continuous pattern here? What's the pattern that I have with authority figures? Or like I had noticed that I must have inadvertently, and this is why our words are so powerful, we have to be careful. Inadvertently, my clients and even myself started referring to me as kind of a lawyer, because when I started to put people into what I call the hot seat in my coaching calls, you know, it can be quite an intense situation. And what I'm doing is I am putting that old identity into a corner so that it has nowhere else to go. So the fear has nowhere else to go. And they likened it to being like a hardcore lawyer sort of thing, right? You're on the podium and then suddenly the old identity has nothing else to do but collapse under its own ridiculousness. And I started to say to Joey, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll win all my cases. I'll win all my cases against the old identity. Then what happened? I started manifesting like all these other cases where I was like fighting for my mum to get that money back and to get justice against that estate agents, to then some injustice with the tax office, to then another injustice with a parking fine. And I won all of my cases, but oh my goodness, just keep bringing in more cases now to have to win against. So we have to be really, now I'm aware, this is the assumption that I suddenly created out of nowhere. Let's like change it or tweak it so it works in my favor. Because yeah, it's fun to win, but it's not fun to keep having things to have to try and fight all the time, you know. Flash Op, thank you so much for the donation, my darling. Thank you, I appreciate that. You've asked, when an old negative thought arises, I observe it. It's just a negative thought. I let it pass regardless of the emotion in my body, and I remind myself it won't affect me. So I take it, Flash Up, you asking if that is like the correct sort of approach for dealing with negative thoughts. I've done like quite a few videos on negative thoughts, and I really hope that it's given you guys some comfort, and I hope that you will pay attention to it, because many people do treat their negative thoughts like it's some sort of monster. And that's like the worst thing that you could do, because you're always signaling to yourself that you're in danger, that this negative thought is really bad and I must deal with it. Because look, in dealing with it and affirming over it and maybe suppressing it, I have alleviated myself, right? Okay, it worked for us. Then what happens? The negative thought keeps wanting to come up to be met. And then we keep on fighting over it. And then we end up exhausted. And then we end up even more exacerbated than before we started with the whole thing. So what you're saying, Flash Up, is the negative thought arises, you just observe it and you label it. It's just a negative thought, right? Which is a brilliant approach, because it is. It's like, there it is. I'm not ignoring you, but I recognize that you're there. So I'm observing you. I will label you in the most, and I suppose that's even like a stoic practice, isn't it? It's just, there you go. It's a negative thought. Suddenly, it's kind of like disempowered in that moment, isn't it? When you really recognize that's all it is, it's a negative thought that's just been created in my mind, like a bunch of words or whatever that's provided me with a feeling. It's not a reality. It's not something that can physically harm me right now. Now it doesn't feel so powerful. Now I can relax. And when you practice in observing it and labeling it in that way and kind of disconnecting with it as a result in that sense, it's like it passes just like any passing cloud in the sky, which is the main thing you want to do. You just want to observe it and let it pass. Whereas if I fight it, if I engage in a battle with it, I'm keeping that around and I'm labeling it that it's dangerous as well. And it's just not necessary. So you're doing, absolutely the right thing. Flash Up, thank you again for the other super chat. Yet another query. I'm not valuable enough to be consistently chosen and paid. So my financial security depends on my clients continuing to choose me and pay me. How can I change this old identity step by step? Well, first of all, changing that assumption. I'm not valuable enough to be consistently chosen and paid. I mean, who said that you're not valuable enough to be consistently chosen and paid? You are, a part of the infinite. Call it God, universe, source, right? You create your reality. Your assumptions are powerful. And this assumption that you have about, I'm not valuable enough to be consistently chosen and paid, well, no wonder then your financial security depends on people coming and choosing and paying you. And that must put you in a perpetual state of stress, because where you don't know your value, you're depending on any person to recognize that value within you. But that must be very inconsistent. And you're probably struggling as a result of that too, because it's difficult. How do you expect your clients who are coming to you and paying you a service because you're valuable? How can you expect them to consistently see your value if you're operating from a state of not being valuable enough? Not being valuable enough. What if you were valuable enough to be consistently chosen and paid regularly and paid really well? What if you were worthy enough to flourish in the business that you want to flourish in, right? Start to ask yourself these questions, because you observed something in the 3D reality and you made this mean you're not valuable enough to be consistently chosen and paid. So you can use assumption stacking. So you can have a watch of Joseph's video and assumption stack. I am valuable enough to be chosen and consistently paid, or consistently chosen and paid. I am inherently valuable simply because I exist. My value is recognized by my clients, and I have a constant stream of clients because I recognize my value and they recognize it too, etc., etc. And start to stack up new assumptions, slowly building up the identity of the version of you who would have a very different experience of this. Because the fact of the matter is, you've got clients who do continue to choose you and to pay you as it is, right? So they do recognize you. And I'm sure that you've got clients that are repeat clients as well. So they consistently choose you and pay you. So really, this assumption is not true. You know, it isn't true. It's an observation that you've made, and it's a generalization, but I'm sure it's not a complete fact. Challenge that down, you know, challenge it, because it's not your reality. Where are we at? Athena, how would I manifest my SP, which is actually my ex-boyfriend? He hurt me in the past by not choosing me. I'm also trying to heal from it. I want to manifest apologies, being pursued, chosen, and his regrets. Okay. So it sounds to me, darling, that there is, you know, there's a lot of issue here in what you said. Just simply, I can see, right, he's your ex-boyfriend and he's hurt you in the past. So you're still seeing him through the lens of the past because you've interpreted the events of reality as I'm not chosen. Remember, the events that happen in your reality do not determine your identity unless you make it so. Someone could, say, you know, okay, they don't want to be with you or something like that. That doesn't mean that I'm inherently an unchosen person or that they've not chosen me. Like, I decide what that means. The whole time where you actually see him through the lens of not being chosen, he didn't choose me, I'm trying to heal from it, right? So evidently what has happened between the two of you has been a painful breakup, has made you feel very rejected, made you feel very unimportant, has made you feel upset, devalued. And now operating from that state, that's why you're trying to manifest things like his regret, his apology. Do you see how flawed that is? Because you're manifesting a state. The version of you who demands his regret and his apology is the version of you who is the unchosen mess, right? Is the unchosen, living in regret, pain of the past, still seeing him as the same version of himself. That version of you does not have a relationship with him. The version of you has a relationship with him, right? They have to find a way to see through what has happened. Now, that's not to say we don't disregard that the past had happened. It happened. But understand that your old identity is causing you to see it a certain way. And if this person genuinely is like not choosing you because they're this vindictive, horrible person, then why would you want to be with someone like that anyway? I guarantee that when you look back over things, you'll see it as maybe it wasn't as harsh as not being chosen. Maybe there were some other elements operating here. Maybe take a look at your key assumptions that have functioned here that have caused this situation to end up in the way that it has, and then be honest with yourself and real with yourself. Is this the person that I want and why? And if so, like, he's hurt you. I don't know what he's done to hurt you. And like I say, it's hard for me to guide you with not knowing the full context and story, but I have a feeling like this is not a one-sided thing, and that you've interpreted things perhaps a lot worse than was maybe meant at the time. Because if he really was that nasty and stuff, you wouldn't still want him. But it does mean that you're going to have to find a way to change your old story so that you're no longer operating from this disregarded, unchosen, unimportant victim mentality. And you operate from the state of being the chosen, the loved, the cherished. You have to gift yourself that state, because he won't recognize it in you until you recognize it in yourself. You see, so don't worry about manifesting an apology and things like that. Go to your end. Always go to your end. And I said that to anyone who's listening. So I get that so many times with people. It's like, I want an apology. It's like, yeah. I mean, I had a client, I had to be really, really certain with her. I was like, are you sure all you want is the apology? He really hurt her. He really upset her. Are you sure? Because that's where the bridge ends. And she said, she was like, yeah, she was adamant that was it. So we're like, okay. So I set her up. A guy that she hadn't spoken to, and there was no connection. Suddenly she's bumping into him. Suddenly she sees him on the train, and suddenly they're back in communication, back talking, and then he brings up the apology for how he was with her. And then, of course, she started to wonder if she was changing her mind, and I said, I warned you. Like, that is the end of your bridge. You occupied the state of the one who was vindicated. the one who was apologized to. That's what it is. But as it was, she was okay because she realized it wasn't really him that she wanted to be with. But I think the apology and the kindness made her maybe think differently because she didn't see that side of him before, I suppose. See, every version of self exists now. Where are we at? Room Butter. Hi, my lovely. Thank you so much for the donation, darling. I saw SP near my house twice lately when I thought, doesn't matter if I see him. I can't hold this detachment. I think of him 24/7. Okay, I saw SP near my house twice lately when I thought, okay, it doesn't matter if I see him. So you're noticing that, all right, when I say to myself, right, it doesn't matter if I see him or something, then I'll tend to see him, right? To hold detachment consciously is the wrong place to put your attention and focus, because detachment will come as a byproduct. And I've spoken about detachment in my videos before too. But detachment will come as a byproduct of having shifted your state. Remember, you don't want to fixate on whether or not you're going to bump into him. Your aim is to feel so safe and comfortable and chosen and loved in connection to him that when you bump into each other, there's that bonus. When you bump into each other, you actually feel safe. You're not just manifesting that you keep bumping into each other. You're actually manifesting that you're this version of self now. And then you don't need to hold attachment. You'll just naturally be detached because he doesn't end up on a pedestal. You know, his presence doesn't determine whether or not you are calm or loved or safe or chosen. You see what I mean? And you can do that through hypnosis or imaginal acts or assumption stacking, anything that gets you into that state. But try not to focus on, doesn't matter if I see him and stuff like that. Because seeing him is not really the important issue here. The important issue is like, who are you in relation to this person? What's your end looking like? Have you embodied that end? And then you'll see and bump into him in the right times, in the right ways, and probably have like communication and connection. I hope that helps. Katerina Mary Edwards. Uh-oh. Oh, damn. It's raining, guys. It's raining. No. As a very, very curly-haired lass, naturally, we cannot get wet. It's like we melt. We frizz. Fringe will start going. I'll stand out here a bit because Jerry's in the kitchen doing his maybe I'll manifest that it's a dry patch around me. So Katerina, I've been doing lots of the right things to manifest SP, weight loss, and money, and I keep seeing little progress, but it feels really hard to maintain. So you've been doing a lot of the right things. I don't know what the right things are in terms of, you know, people often say, you know, I've done everything right, and I've done the imaginal scenes, and I've done this, and I don't doubt that they're doing the techniques and everything right. It's not difficult to do all of that correct, so to speak. But I mean, what is the mindset? So as you said, you are seeing little progress. So something is occurring here, but this difficulty to maintain it, are there hidden assumptions? Like, for example, with the weight loss, for example, is there an assumption around, it's easy for me to lose weight? And again, I don't know, this microphone keeps pulling my top down. It needs to do a retuck. But yeah, so for example, do you have an assumption around weight loss and that not being a permanent thing for you? Like, okay, you know, I lose weight easily, but I can't keep it off. You know, people have these very subtle assumptions that they don't even know are running in the background. So there you go. I manifested that there'll be a dry sort of space around me. It's dry now. Yeah, so look into those longer term assumptions, because assumptions are your patterns, right? And they establish the longevity of things. So you might be able to imagine the weight loss and you might actually lose weight, but then you struggle to keep it off because there's hidden assumptions around, God, it's easy for me to lose weight, but I don't keep the weight off, or I can only lose weight for a limited amount of time, or it's just so easy for me to put on weight. Okay. Those are the assumptions that belong to my old identity. The new version of me who loses weight easily has a new set of assumptions. I can eat what I want and my body maintains the right weight. My body always knows how to keep me to the right weight. These are kind of like my assumptions actually as well, because as you know, I manifested weight loss. And what really helped me was to talk to a friend of mine who has always remained slim. Like I say, she's had like 2 kids. You wouldn't know it if you saw this girl. Like her body, her physique has not changed since we were in school. And I used to always laugh at her because I'd be like, you eat everything and yet you're always like super skinny. Like, how is that? And so she told me about, you know, I've got a fast metabolism and all this business. So I started to take that on. I was like, okay, to have a fast metabolism, that I can eat what I want, that my body always knows how to keep to the right weight, always maintains it no matter what I eat. So start stacking up the new assumptions that help you with the longevity of things, because you don't have to maintain a state. You don't have to maintain a mood. We shift state all the time and our moods are always changing, but you want your core default set of assumptions and beliefs to ensure that you can keep the longevity of it. And if you can't keep the longevity of it, try and ascertain what those assumptions are that are causing your progress to be short-lived, if that makes sense. Oh, you guys are so amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm so behind. I'm so sorry, guys. It's hard for me to keep up. Fifth Dimension, thank you, Athena, for all that you do. Thank you, Fifth Dimension, for the donation. I see your messages all the time in my comments as well. It's lovely to connect with you. I hope you're still here. Goth Mummy. You see, no matter what, no matter how I dress, no matter what I do, even when I'm wearing loads of color, I will always be associated with being a goth. Magnetic. I like that. I know some of you have really changed your state, and you kind of get shocked by the results. Like I've had that, one of my clients is like, she's like, okay, it's almost hilarious now how many people are asking me out, finding me attractive. This is someone who didn't really get much attention before. She's manifesting an SP. So John, thank you so much, John, for your donation, darling. Just moving this damn thing, this microphone. So what can I do if my much younger SP only sees me as a distant friend, more like an older acquaintance, really? Texts only to see how I'm doing. The last time she vanished after a single text. John, so thank you so much for the generous donation, sweetheart. And I'm thinking that I'm kind of familiar with your situation. If it is you, because maybe I've seen your story a few times in the comments section, and I think I've responded to you in the comments a few times on my videos as well. First of all, my much younger SP only sees me as a distant friend. So that right there, there's an element of you that, first of all, doesn't recognize his worth and value. You focus on the age gap, and I don't know what the age gap is, but I've worked with lots of people who have age gap relationships. My relationship with Joseph is an age gap. There's 8 years difference between us. I had a client the other day whose age gap difference was 20 years, you know, obviously all legal ages, but I'm sure I don't need to say that. I just assume that everyone understands that, of course, but age gap relationships, I know can cause a lot of anxiety for people if they have questions about their worth and, you know, confidence issues and stuff like that. You've evidently fixated on the age gap, which makes me question your worth and value in relation to this specific person and how you see yourself in relation to her. You say, okay, she only sees me as a distant friend. Well, that will be a projection once again of how you see yourself. And that's not to say that the current circumstances aren't treating you that way, but that will say that the reason your current circumstances have manifested into this dynamic is because you haven't, you know, you don't know your place in relation to her, maybe in relation to people that you love, and you're focusing on all of the reasons why you can't have it and all the reasons why this is mismatched, i.e. the age, distant friend sort of thing as well. Why have you labeled yourself that? like an older acquaintance, right? This evidently someone who is obviously interested to know you, checks in on you to see how you're doing. Vanishes, I don't know the context, so I can't really give you a more grounded, detailed view as to why the vanishing and stuff. But people vanish for all sorts of reasons, for whatever reason. I mean, I've had it with clients and their SPs and stuff. The SP have come back, and it's not been like a let's engage in a marathon of text messages. Like, it's been like, you know what, I need a bit of time as well to think things through. There's been a bit of space. There's been a couple of months silence. But the important thing to ask yourself is, are you consistent in your state of being during those periods of silence? Or do you make this mean like, oh, she's checked in on me and she's vanished, that means I'm not important to her, I'm just an acquaintance? In which case you've labeled yourself based on someone else's behaviors, of which you don't really know what's going on in her world. You don't know if she's busy. You don't know if she's got a lot going on in her world. She's evidently thought of you enough to reach out and see how you are. But also, if there is an element of pressure around you, pressure to be chosen, pressure to be made to feel important, choose me as more than a friend, that pressure and that energy, of course, yes, they pull back because they feel it. And she might not be in that space right now. But what space are you in? Most importantly, what space are you in? What space are you occupying? Oh, damn. I was going to have a drink of water and I just noticed this fly. Why does it keep happening to me? I know I keep manifesting it. Flash up, did I? Oh no, I've answered that one. Has it scrolled back up or something? Because I'm sure. If I install the identity I'm inherently chosen and my financial security is guaranteed without requiring any maintenance, would I experience it in reality? Well, like I say, Flash up, if you take a look at Joseph's video, assumption stacking, and you don't have to believe the assumptions either. It's not like an affirmation that you're saying over and over to convince yourself. You're not convincing yourself of anything. When you do an assumption stack, you are essentially writing down statements that are your new pattern, your new truth in the world. Okay, this is my new truth. This is how I perceive the world. And that's the mindset that you write it down in. And you only have to do it once. Some people sometimes do it twice. But if you are hyper-focused on it, and because you're stacking it in many different ways, similar sort of statements as well, but in as many different ways as you can phrase it and angle it, it impresses. And in that moment, a bridge will unfold. Okay, it doesn't mean it's going to necessarily automatically happen immediately, but a bridge will start to unfold in that moment. So when you say I'm inherently chosen, my financial security is guaranteed without requiring any maintenance. Yeah, create assumptions around your relationship with money. I don't need to worry about money. Money flows into me easily. My financial stability is always guaranteed. Things always work out for me financially. I wouldn't even make it a condition of the business. When I manifest financial abundance, and when I was manifesting financial abundance, especially when I hit quite a rocky road in my bridge of events before Joseph came in, I never actually associated my financial abundance with business. So whether business is quiet, or whether it's busy, or whether it's like, I don't care kind of thing. I'm just financially abundant. I'll get, unexpected gifts, or I'll win money, or I'll make an investment that really makes a great whatever back. Like, that's someone who's financially abundant. That is how they think. That's how they see the world. Don't tie the two together and limit yourself inadvertently that way. But yes. Syrian butter. So I did that one. I did Karen. Hinder Freight, thank you so much, darling, for your super chat, sweetheart. Flash up, I got your third super chat now, but tell me if I'd missed it. But that was it, wasn't it? That was your super chat. Amara, I am going to add you as a moderator. Okay, because I need some more moderators. Actually, I haven't allocated roles to people for a while, so I don't know if you're still here, Amara. Hi, darling. Is that Anadela? Hi, sweetie. Welcome. Where am I at? Room Rumbosa, is that another one? How to persist with, thank you for the super chat, sweetheart. Oh, wait a minute, Hinder, I will answer your question. All right, I'll quickly answer Rimbotta and then I'll answer you, Hinder. Rimbotta, how to persist with long time of no SP movement. I mean, that was like my story with Joseph, though, wasn't it? There was like 5 years of no movement, 4 or 5 years of no movement that I could see. With my first SP, there was like a year of no movement. That's why I say there's no such thing as no movement. I've done a video on this actually about no movement. I think it's like no movement is the biggest lie or something that your mind has sold you. And I think it says on the thing, like, it's happening, like the seed has been planted. So it might help you to, yeah, the thumbnail says it's happening on it, I think. So watch that video, because in it I explain in great detail, like I do in all of my videos, to give you an understanding of how the bridge unfolds and how movement is immediate. So even if you can't physically see it with your 5 senses, that doesn't mean that it's not happening. There is a lot that happens beneath the scenes. People start to think of you more, or they're dreaming of you, or dependent on your situation. My first SP had confirmed to me that he was thinking of me more, that he was dreaming of me. He knew that he was going to get in touch. He knew we were going to be reconnected, but we still had a year of like no communication, third party, distance, and him consistently posting up pictures with the third party on his social media. So if I went by that, it looked very, very grim and very depressing. But I think an understanding of how the law works, and understanding that things are always moving. There's no such thing as no movement, but that is the whole idea of why we do the inner state shift. Because when I have shifted on a subconscious level, I don't need for that person anymore. I didn't need for Joseph. I didn't need for my first SP. I wanted them, and I wanted that experience, and I was going to have it. But I wasn't desperately waiting out my days. My life was really quite full. I had other focuses. I had other desires I was manifesting. And that's a big thing that can help you as well, Rimbotta, like having other desires, making your life bigger than just the SP as well. Living my life in like preparation for this. You know, I'd gone through like a bit of a glow up sort of thing before my first SP came in, because I was like really depressed at the time as well. I was suffering still with depression back then. I was still very young. And engaging in that sort of stuff really helped boost my confidence. So I hope that that helps you. Hinder Freight, thank you so much as well for the super chat, my darling. You said, tell us please more about how it happened with Joseph. So, Linda Freight, I've actually got a video where Joseph and I have done a collaboration on this, and it's a fascinating story, because I mean, it just blows my mind. But essentially, it started off about 4 or 5 years ago when I was washing the dishes, and I just was listening to Neville Goddard, because I love Neville's teachings, and I just listened to him randomly, and I was just tapped out, like I do with my passive imagining technique, as you guys know. And Joseph's face come on. I think, oh, he's very cute. I listen to him. I really like what he has to say. It's very rare in this space to find people who are into the law in the same way that you are, and have a similar understanding of it. Because evidently, you know, we work a lot. I've worked with a lot of the coaches in this community, and they're struggling with a lot of their own sort of manifestations and stuff. But we have very different understandings of the law, and some of them actually have now, since learning from Joseph and myself, have actually started to change their teachings and their vernacular. Some of you have already put 2 and 2 together and have recognized which coaches they are and who they are. But it's a really kind of fascinating thing, because I had just imagined very passively about him, and I dropped it. I didn't keep on imagining. I didn't keep doing techniques, because I had in that moment impressed my subconscious mind. So like I said, I really liked him. I really liked his teachings. I thought he was cute. This imaginal act came into my head. I was washing the dishes, so I was already tapped out. My subconscious was open. It had impressed. I think I looped it maybe once or twice. And then that was it. and I don't know if since then, yes, I must have seen a couple of his videos, and here and there I did think about it, and I did mention it when I was doing my TikTok videos as well and stuff, and I was manifesting a specific person because I remembered as well. I'd set an intention for him. I'd also set intentions for another specific person as well. Different style of intention. And I had, like I said, there was no proof, there was no movement, there was no nothing. He didn't know I existed. He already had a YouTube channel. I didn't have a channel at that point, and it was a couple of years before I even made a channel. And I just kind of got on with my life, manifested another specific person before him, because obviously all your desires have to come in, right? So that guy had to come in as well. And then down the line, closer to just before he came in, I was having all of that issue on the dating apps. My relationship had broken down. Everything seemingly broke down in my life. And I actually hit my own sort of rock bottom. Even though I was manifesting the end of that relationship, I really wanted my partner to get out, kind of thing. At the time, I was just not, just kind of moved past that relationship. It wasn't great. I wasn't enjoying it. And I wanted for other things. So when he left, my whole situation went dire. I didn't have any money. I thought I was going to lose the house. I was in PTSD because of what happened. There was quite a few things. And one of the things that I did to try and regain my confidence actually was to go on these dating apps. And that's when I mentioned earlier about being on 5 dating apps for a year and not getting a single date. Of course, because I wouldn't get a single date because I was in such a bad state. But anyway, so I created my perfect person list. And in this list, I had mentioned numerous requirements about this person. I really wanted someone with a foreign accent. I really wanted someone who was as established as I was, who had understanding of the law as well, who owned a house. I remember that was on my list too. I remember one person got really offended by that. Oh, you're just after the material stuff. It's like, no, I don't give a crap about the material stuff. It's what having a house represented to me, because I had always had guys that I had to, they were not in as good a position as I was. They was not as serious as I was in terms of what stage of life are you at? Are you at the stage of life that you can purchase a house, that you can be stable? And so that's what I was looking for. It was like the same level of stability as myself. And then I set up my channel. I must have had my channel for about a year. Things were just really blowing up. And it was someone who on my TikTok live who then said to me, you know what, your teachings are very similar to Joseph. And she mentioned someone else as well. And she said, it would be great if you did a collaboration. Now, I thought to myself, well, I don't know who the other coach is, but I do know of Joseph. But the problem is, you see, I had emailed Joseph. So after I did my Imaginal Act, I was moved to email Joseph. And I emailed him twice, because I think the first email address that I sent it to, I think it got some sort of bounce back, and that, or I hadn't gotten his right email address. So I emailed him again. I made up some sort of ruse about wanting coaching with him and my friends and stuff. It's like, I don't know why, I cringe now. But anyway, he never responded to those emails. So I thought to myself, well, he's in high demand. What are the chances he's going to see my emails? So I want to do a collab with him. So I'll just go and message him on Instagram. So I left him a voice note on Instagram. And he responded within like an hour or two. And I was not expecting it. And I was a little bit kind of like freaked as well, because I was like, first of all, I'm not sure I recognized your voice. It sounded really low. I think he was really tired. And it just sounded like a couple of octaves lower than what I was used to. And then we talked, and we just didn't stop talking. And it was just the most immediate connection and click. And then he said to me, oh, it's Thanksgiving, so I better go to bed, because we were talking all night, all into the morning. And he was like, I should get some sleep because it's Thanksgiving today and I'm going to be with the family, but I'll call you after. And to be honest, I didn't expect anything, because I was still on the mindset that we were going to collab, and this was like a business collaboration. But things just flourished, and it went from there. And it just really, really quickly, it just unfolds. And I think a lot of you who have manifested your partners based on your perfect person list, The ones that I have worked with in particular, you've all told me very, very similar stories about like when you met and it just kind of like flew from there. But yeah, it was really, really amazing, Hinda. So that's it in a nutshell. But if you want to know sort of in more detail as well, we do have those collaborations that Joseph and I did together. We talk about it more and what happened his end and how he conformed to my list, and even what happened my end, how I conformed to his list. You know, I always wore my hair like with long extensions and stuff like that. And suddenly I took my extensions out and I cut my hair short because his list said she has short, dark hair. So it's so weird. And I was like, why am I cutting my hair? Like, why? I wouldn't be seen with like my hair short. And then also there was other things as well that happened that made me realize I was conforming to his list. But I was thinking it was just my natural kind of change of mind, my natural free will. It didn't feel like anything. It's so fascinating. I'm so cold. I'm so cold. I don't want to. I don't want to interrupt Joey. So, and you said, I like to show that I'm successfully manifesting my ESP. Circumstances do not matter. There was a third party and it was a toxic partner. I assumed they would break up and that my ESP needed time to heal, which I did myself too. Didn't want him from hopping one relationship to the next, which exactly, and that tends to happen too. They don't tend to jump in from one to another, which is not what you'd want anyway. Thank you, Gwendolyn. Thank you so much, Gwendolyn Casse. Thank you for the super chat. Did you have a question, sweetheart? It was just a lovely donation. You guys are so sweet. Fi Holly. Oh my God, what? Embrace the cows. The curls are like noodles though. I actually used to be called noodles at school because that's what it was like proper ringlets, man. I'm talking proper full-on ringlets. Where are we at? Okay, let me see. It's funny. I think it jumps up and down. The chat. So yeah, I think it's jumping up and down. So I'm really sorry, guys, if I'm missing anyone out or anything. I'm doing my best to keep up. I know some of you are sending me super chats, and even I'm keeping up with those. So Raina, is it Raina? Thank you so much for the super chat, darling. You said, I don't feel smart enough. I revised and I went to the end, but it's not working. It's really affecting my studying and my mental health. I don't feel enough. Okay. So you said I don't feel smart enough, but darling, you evidently are smart enough. I mean, everything is within you. I've had like clients who they didn't rate themselves in terms of academically even, might not have come across as academically smart. But my God, I mean, they were really intelligent in so many ways. You know, smart is just not, and I don't know if you're measuring it academically because you're saying that your studies and your mental health. So evidently where you're struggling with your mental health, maybe your studies and your exam results and things like that are not going as you would expect. But that has nothing to do with your level of intellect. I mean, I relate to you because I never thought of myself as a smart person or particularly intellectual. You know, I sometimes think of myself like quite naive at times, and God, there's so much that I could learn still. And it's true because you never stop learning. Are any of us ever really smart enough? But try not to turn that into a judgment on yourself because all of us are learning, right? You said you revised and you went to the end and it's not working. So I don't know, like I say, your situation in depth, right? But revision is a powerful tool, but people tend to use it to try and erase what's happened in the past. And that's evidently not what you want to use revision for. Revision is about taking away the emotional charge of something that had happened so that you no longer identify with that, right? I'm not the person who was rejected this way, or like, for me to overcome PTSD, a big thing that my therapist at the time helped me through was revision. Obviously, they don't call it that in CBT, but evidently I knew what it was. And because I was in such a state because of the trauma of what happened, I wasn't about to go back and revise this myself. You know, I took on, I've got the, what do you call it? decades of experience and whatnot. But when you're emotionally entangled to that degree, I wanted to have someone to help to guide me. And I didn't revise as the event as though it never happened. So I don't know if that's what you're trying to do, Raina, because if you are, you might be met with a lot of resistance, depending what the actual event was. So for me, yes, it was going to be really fake and phony if I was to pretend that this horrific incident didn't happen. So I didn't. But I revised who I was, the version of me that encountered that incident, that showed up during that incident. So, for example, instead of being the victim of this horrific incident, I was the victor. Instead of someone taking away my voice and my dignity and, putting me in that sort of vulnerable position, he took me through the scene, and I spoke up, and I had a voice, and I wasn't a victim. And I decreed in that revision that you're not going to take away my dignity. You're not going to take away who I am. You don't have power over me. And it was very empowering. See, I revised that scene and it changed something in me. I would say if you're revising, aim to do it that way and aim to do it in a relaxed meditative state. Maybe I've got a revision hypnosis on my channel and it utilizes NLP, and it is so powerful because it's going to help you to take away the emotional charge from what actually happened, and then it's going to help you to add a new scene, okay, how you would have preferred it. And like I say, you don't have to pretend like it never happened, but you can adapt and change it so that it takes out the emotional charge. I hope that makes sense. But please give that revision hypnosis a try, because I know it's helped so many people. Foreign accents are hot. I know, right? I know. I do like it. It's a little bit different. Like something a little bit different. Nothing wrong with desiring someone to have a house or money. You know what? This is the thing, Rosie. It's funny, though, isn't it, that people can have... they're projecting their own sort of fears and judgments, but the fact that someone would see that as just after material things says about their assumptions. Whereas, of course, in my world, it was more about breaking old patterns of me always being the one to take care of the guy or to be in a stronger position than the guy, kind of thing, which was a pattern for me for a while. Elisa was in my manifesting journey, brought in a man who's pretty wonderful. I've been manifesting a woman I'm honestly still nuts about. Then my cardiologist's office moved just 5 minutes from her house. No way. We had that as well with someone on our, another member of our Discord, Barb. I don't know if you're on here, Barb. That was just like the sweetest. There's the funniest thing as well, because Barb had that too, where everything had collapsed at her old work, and then suddenly, and she won't mind me calling out her name because she's quite active on our Discord community and she's happy to share her successes and stuff, but she got this job, and it just so happened to be like in the same state, the same town as her SP that she was manifesting for 2 years. And by the way, she's another one who had no contact with her SP whatsoever for that time, and now they're sort of back in touch and things are, starting to unfold there. But it's just so funny. I was like, you get a job there, right there in his town. And it was just as she had imagined. It's so funny. Flash up, I'm looking forward to our one-to-one call on September the 9th. And if you get any earlier date, let me know. Oh my God, Flash up. So I didn't recognize. So obviously I wouldn't have recognized, because I know that's not your name. So it's not how I know you. But if you and I have a one-to-one call on the 9th, then we can go into this in more detail, and I'll actually... I'll take you through like some somatic exercises and stuff to really get you to feel the truth of what I'm saying. But that is a good place to start with those assumptions, by the way. And I'll show you how to do it and how I do it to bring in the proof so that you can actually feel the truth of it in your body. It's not a necessity. It's just my own little sort of cheat code. But I'm looking forward to seeing you, and I will let you know. Sometimes I get movement, but it's been really like demand has been a bit high. Seriously, what? How long did it take him to call back after Thanksgiving? Seriously, what? 888? Not long. We spoke until the early hours, my time, and his time too. But my time, it was ridiculously early hours, like maybe 6 in the morning or something. And then I don't know, to be honest. Like, I can't really remember, because he would have gone, he would have had Thanksgiving. Did he send me? Oh, I think it disconnected then. Sorry, guys. I hope it's back. Yeah, I really couldn't tell you, but it wasn't long. He then called me that evening when he got back. So I was really, what's the word? I was really surprised by that too, because I wasn't expecting. Because you know what it's like when they're like, "Oh yeah, it's great chatting to you," and yeah, I'll give you a call later. Don't forget, by that point, I'd been on those 5 dating apps and had so used to getting ghosted or it not leading to any dates that I kind of thought, yeah, you'll call me, you know, if you do, you do, and if you don't, whatever, kind of thing, you know. And I wasn't really I don't know, I wasn't really expecting it or what. I was just kind of like whatever about it. So when he did, and when we spent even more hours on the phone, and we just kept spending hours and hours on the phone till it got to a point where Joey and I, we didn't want to get off the phone to each other. And I thought to myself, I kept thinking to myself, I don't want to get off the phone to you, like I just feel so connected. And then he was just like, should we just, you know, fall asleep sort of thing together on the phone, kind of thing. And then we started doing that, where we would actually fall asleep with each other on the phone. I've only ever had that like once or twice before in the past, but he was like so much like me, because I guess our list and the way that we'd written each other in, we were so alike that we understood each other. And any old wounds, say for example, like one of my triggers was inconsistency in guys can be a trigger. He didn't, you know, that wound, say for example, that would like trigger any sort of maybe abandonment or whatever, never came to the surface, never felt it with him, and he didn't feel it with me. And apparently that was a big thing for him as well, as abandonment wound. So we just, you know, I think people think that when they're manifesting love, a condition that gets in the way of you manifesting love is, I have to be perfect. I have to heal my abandonment wounds, heal this. You don't have to heal or change anything. Everything exists within you. That abandonment and, you know, whatever state, forever is going to exist within you. So you're not trying to heal anything. You're opening yourself up to reality and experience, a dynamic and assumptions where that doesn't even get triggered, that doesn't even exist. That experience of fearing abandonment doesn't exist in that type of relationship dynamic. See what I'm saying? That's probably one of the most important things you could do for anyone who's manifesting, say, love, and you want to do it just through maybe like a general list. You must keep that in mind. So I'm a bit shivery because it's really, really cold. Talk about revision. Yeah, so user 49, did you hear what I said about revision before and the advice I was giving to, can't remember, to Raina? That's revision, right? We're not pretending that the past didn't happen. We're not pretending that it isn't real, but we're changing our experience of what happened and therefore our identity. Remember, every technique you're doing is not about changing the outer world. It's changing who I am in relation to the outer world. Amara Goddess, thank you, sweetheart. Did you send me another super chat, darling? Thank you so much. Red Roses, thank you. You're a humble coach. Thank you, baby. One soul consciousness. I also have curly hair. Do you, darling? I bet it looks lovely on you, though. Yes. Not the victim. Exactly. You get to choose. You always get to choose, guys. You get to, you know, we don't always get to choose what happens to us. Reality is always, like, no matter who you are, is always going to throw some sort of challenge or unexpected event your way. It's just going to happen. Like, otherwise we would all be psychic and we would all know what to expect from one moment to the next. And if everything in this world is perfect, and, you know, we have these hermetic principles of the law of correspondence and the law of polarity and the law of rhythm and stuff like that, then you know what? Ebbs and flows are inevitable parts of life. And that's why there's nothing to change but self. Because as long as your state of being, your state determines how you perceive things and how you move through life, as long as that identity, that part of you is stable, it will see you through everything. Because sometimes things that the human self calls a challenge is actually the greatest doorway to a new beginning. But if I'm operating as a victim, I will not see that doorway. And that's why many people can stay in the victim mentality and not get anywhere with it for the longest time. And it's not because they don't have the ability to change it. They absolutely do. But they can't break out of that mindset that says that everything is happening to me and against me, and labeling everything as bad. You know, and that's something that I choose not to go there. And I think that's I know that's what helped me go from extreme situations like extreme anxiety and depression, debilitating anxiety and depression, situations whereby, you know, from PTSD to being agoraphobic, situations where I didn't have enough food to feed myself and stuff, the worst kind of breakups, assaults. I went through, the situations that I went through were all perfect unfoldings of my bridge. But that mindset got me through everything, got me to where I am today, got me through to the other side. Daniela, thank you so much for the super chat, my sweet. Hi, Athena, what is your opinion on struggling to feel whilst imagining? For the first time in years of manifesting, this is happening a lot to me, struggling to feel. So I always emphasize the importance of feeling. Obviously, as a big Neville advocate and fan, but when I talk about it, it's the same as what Neville says. And it's the same as Joseph, except Joseph doesn't use the word feeling. He's very careful not to. And we were discussing actually maybe what's a better word than feeling, so that you don't get it mixed up with emotion, for example. But when you're imagining, your only goal really is to have an experience, okay? Is to connect you with that sensation of, well, essentially it's to give you the answer of this question. And the question is, what would it be like if it were true? What would it be like if this wish was fulfilled? So it's like, number one, what is my desire? What would it be like if this wish was fulfilled? What would it be like if this was true? What would it be like if this problem was sorted? And allow your unconscious mind to take you there. That's another approach that you can use that really doesn't give you like too much resistance. And that's actually what a lot of people did before they even discovered the law. You were all going around thinking, oh, you know what, I'd really love to go to Spain. What would it be like to be on the beaches of Spain or something? Or I had that with a client who said that she always used to drive by this particular road. She loved the houses, didn't have the money for it. And yet she would always just kind of like fantasize, but what would it be like to live amongst those people and in that sort of a neighborhood, and how would my kids find it and stuff? And then the next thing, there she is, against all odds, living in this particular area. So try and make it a fun, explorative, if that's even a word, an explorative task for yourself, where you're literally just pondering what it would be like if it was true. Like, what would it be like? Because that's more fun, that's more open, rather than, oh my God, I'm trying to imagine, I still didn't feel. And then, of course, you're going to give yourself such a hard time because you didn't feel anything. That means it didn't work, and that means you're not going to get it. No. Just be present to have an experience. Don't worry about feeling elated emotions or anything like that, because you don't necessarily. Sometimes these imaginal scenes, and when I shift my client states, for the most part, what they say to me, those of you who work with me know, like, speak up. What do you all say when you change? I feel light. I feel lighter. 90% of the time, that's the first word that they use. And then they'll come in with other words. And sometimes it's just a sense of peace or calm, or I don't feel like this is too impossible now, or I don't feel like this is far away. Various things like that. But they're not feeling necessarily this elation of big emotions and stuff like that. It just feels like a very normal, it's almost, sometimes the shift is so subtle that they don't realize it, because there's not like a big emotional change necessarily, you know, so don't worry about that. Koala, have you listened to the live? No worries, Koala, anytime. I've been on for quite a while, actually, because I love hanging out with you guys. Even though we do this kind of thing, you know, regularly, like on the Discord and stuff, we're always doing this kind of thing weekly. Evidently, it's easier because I get to do a little to and fro on the Discord and actually get a bit more context. Here, I'm literally just working with a couple of lines. So I do the best that I can. But I'll do my best to try and catch up with some more here, and then I'm going to go inside and stick myself under the heated blanket, because I manifested this incredible heat wave, so I cannot complain. It has been months. It has broken records of June and July, and there was no rain and everything, and everyone in England was pretty much hating it, except for some who are like me. But this last week has completely changed. So where am I at? Let me do a couple more. So thank you, Amara Goddess, and I have you know, you are now a mod as well. And enjoy being here in the content. Thank you so much, Amara Goddess. Thank you. If I don't want my manifestation anymore, will it still come in before I can move on? You said this in regards to your SP journey. Violet Willow. So, for example, there was a specific person that I was manifesting, that my original desire, when I was feeling hurt and disregarded, my original desire was to have him back. My imaginal scene was him texting, and I've shared this story before too, and how we reunited, and it was pretty cool because Coco was the messenger for that one, and he had like a little, I don't know what to call it. Excuse me, this guy had like a mystical spiritual experience before we met up. But what was I say? I'd imagined that he had sent me the message saying, you know, I miss you, with 4 kisses. I imagined him saying, I love you. And I think my intention was obviously to reconnect and to be with him. But I think deep down in my heart, you see, I obviously manifested that from a place of pain. You know, I wanted to be validated. What's interesting is, of course, when I changed my state, I'd impressed those things. I changed my state. And he came back after 5 weeks, I think it was 5 weeks after I'd been like ghosted. And I can't remember if I was blocked, certainly ghosted. And he came in and he reflected. He sent that text message exactly with the 4 kisses as well. I don't know, I did that as a little sort of test, I suppose, because it was unusual for him to send kisses. 4 kisses exact. And then later on, when we met up and everything, he said the words, I love you. Now, you see, by that point, I didn't want a relationship with him. And it's kind of good because that was it anyway. That was the end of my manifestation. That's only as far as I had gone, which again does not gift you necessarily the experience of being in a long-term committed relationship. I was just the version of self that heard him say those words and received that text message, but I'm not necessarily the version of self who's in a committed relationship with this guy. And it was okay because, like I said, I didn't want that. I had changed my mind. And so I could just turn it down. You know, I don't feel like we're stuck if we've set intentions and we change our mind. I don't feel like we're stuck. I feel like personally we can, if the opportunity comes in, I can turn it down. I don't have to take it. Or I shift my state so I'm on a different, I suppose, trajectory. Because I did have an intention to be a Scrum Master, and I guess I kind of was, but I didn't get that role full time. So it's like another weird bird thing. So you see, you can change your mind and stuff. You're not stuck. So don't worry if you don't want your manifestation anymore. You're not stuck to wait for it until it comes in before you can move on. It could be everything, you know, God's word doesn't come back void. Or it could be that it never fully impressed and stuff and you can move on and stuff. But yeah, don't use that as a limit. Amara, oh no, wait a minute. I didn't mean to do that. Add as a moderator. There you go. I don't know what it is with this touch screen, Amara. Sorry about that. But thank you so much, Amara. So just want to say you're amazing. First time I watched one of your videos, I felt triggered because of the state I was in, but ultimately the real deal. Cheers a minute. Thank you so much, Amara Goddess. And the hypnosis are amazing. Yes. So hypnosis is a really powerful modality. I share so much with you guys for free. Like literally any of you watching this now, everything is on my channel, right? I do that on purpose because obviously with the tax situation and stuff in this country, and of course the conversion rates, I know that one-to-one coaching is not going to be accessible for everybody, but I want everyone to get success because this stuff changed my life so much. And this is why Joseph and I dedicate so much time and effort. I mean, that's why he's making all these apps. A lot of it is, you know, it's all like free access and stuff. You guys have been getting incredible results with the Neville app. We're always getting messages about the Neville app actually and how you guys are using the practices. And we've had some amazing successes pouring in already. And we're kind of like consciously manifesting more. So I expect there's going to be some more completed ones because that's my aim, is to share some of those. But everything that you need, guys, is like readily accessible. And I don't, you know, the hypnosis I put on my channel, and that from the SP one to the marriage one to a generic wish, SP one to money to a generic wish fulfilled to revision that was influenced by NLP. I mean, it's rare that you can find these sorts of things that are actually actual hypnosis using language patterns. It's not just a meditation. Please go use it. I mean, you guys who have used it have reported amazing results, and it's really nice to hear that. And thank you, Amara Goddess. And it's amazing, as you said, you felt triggered when you watched one of my videos, and it goes to show. I mean, it's not unusual. I have people who say they watch my videos all the time, and when they come back to it after they change their state, they notice something else that they missed, or you know, something that they didn't understand before, they thought the worst of, suddenly kind of makes sense and everything. And again, it's just us pushed out, isn't it? It's just our state of consciousness at the time. So whereabouts am I? So Christine, how can I change the pattern of men rejecting and ghosting me? So, I mean, if this is like an ongoing pattern, darling, then you've got an assumption around the men in my life always reject me. Men in my life, or the men that I choose, end up ghosting me. I'm not emotionally available for connection. So you can, and I, you know, Joseph and I have been sort of referring people to assumption stacking because it's so easy and accessible. So have a look at Joseph's video and start creating maybe new assumptions, because that's it. Your pattern are based on your assumptions. You know, men always reject me and ghost me, right? Okay, the men in my life, the men that I love, the men I'm interested in. So, all right, new assumptions. Okay, the men in my life are openly available for communication. The men in my life communicate with me regularly and consistently all the time. You know, I am, and so you can do some I am ones. You can do the men in my life, the men that I love. Keep it general, because your patterns, your assumptions are general. They're the patterns that you would have seen throughout your life in a lot of the men that you date, and it will take care of everything. Okay, it will take care of everything. Like I say, you don't have to believe it as you're writing them, but understand that the changes are going to start to happen. So you might start to notice things happening for you, like, you know, this person who ghosted me before has actually got in touch again, and you know, I don't call it ghosting anymore. Actually, I just see it as maybe a pause in the communication, or they weren't really the right person for me. Like, I'm not going to label it as we're being ghosted, you know. But these are not conscious things that will happen. These will be like the inner shifts you start to feel. Marcella, I watch you all the time. First time catching you live. You are amazing. I started watching Joseph before you, and when you got together, I was so happy. Oh, thank you so much, Marcella. That's ever so sweet of you. I appreciate that, darling. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate all of you guys, you know, because many of you have, you know, you watched Joseph, myself. I mean, Joseph has been around much longer than I have. So I know many of you started with him and then you kind of found me, or you found me and then you found him through me. And we share the same family here, which I just adore. You know, you guys are amazing. I love that you know, I love how you guys are kind of on the more mature end of the scale when it comes to the law as well. Like, we don't, and I don't mean in terms of age, I mean in terms of where you are mentally. You're looking for answers, and you're looking for the deeper answers, you know, not just the okay, let me just robotically affirm this 10,000 times and hope that it will work. And okay, let me do this technique because I'll get it in the 24 hours and stuff like that. Obviously, we've never really engaged in that kind of like clickbait, and we always teach it as it is, which granted isn't always, it's not always going to be, what's the word, like glitz and glam and do this and get it in 24 hours every single time. But you can guarantee that we're always speaking from the heart and speaking from experience. And we've met so many incredible people. I mean, I had a client yesterday who was regaling me with all of the amazing things that he's manifested using the list method. And it was just like blowing my mind. But at the same time, it doesn't matter how many success stories I witness from you guys, whether it's you guys at home, whether it's you guys I've worked with, and even my own successors and even Joseph's and stuff, they blow my mind all the time. Like the bridges and the way that bridges unfold and stuff, it blows my mind. It excites me every day. I'm still like a kid at Christmas. That's why I'm always getting you guys to share your successes, because it is so much fun, isn't it? It's so much fun. Yeah, it's just so much fun. So I really love that. So keep sharing. And Erwin, did you did you manifest this summer too, Erwin? There we go. It's nice to meet someone else who wanted a hot summer as well, you know, because I was feeling lonely. Oh, Helen, my darling, hello. Lovely to see you here. You look like my French teacher. It's so interesting. Helen is one of our Discord members. She she sent me a message and she was like, I'm learning French. And the French teacher on my app is kind of like, it's like uncanny. Now, what was weird about it was that I was kind of having these thoughts about, I don't know, dyeing my hair purple. I'm not too sure why. And she showed me this thing, and it was like this avatar. And I swear to God, I showed it to Joey. I was just like, Joey, who is this? He was like, oh my God, it looks like you. Everything apart from it, it was the short-haired version of me, short black hair version with the nose piercing. So she had black hair, but she had a purple streak in her hair. And, you know, same with like the chokers, same with like the jewelry, the style. Oh, and then with the winged eyeliner, I was just like, what have you manifested? Helen, your online teacher is me. And you know what else is weird? This avatar is called Raven. She didn't have a choice in it at all. It was already set up. I'll be seeing you next week as well, isn't it, Helen, for our little one-to-one. I'm going to throw this water away because it's got numerous things floating in it. me and my water outside, I tell you. Gosh, I'm quite chilly. Excuse me. Hello from Estonia. Hi, Talon. How are you doing, darling? Welcome from Estonia. Alejandra, I used to imagine my SP talking about me to people close to him. I just found out he got engaged to someone who shares my name. Interesting. I cried for 2 weeks, then I decided if it's the bridge, but I still doubt. Alejandra, what does that scene imply? When you think about it, I imagine my SP talking about me to people close to him. What does that imply? That does not imply that you are together. That implies that he's thinking about you and he's talking about you to his friends, and it could be about anything in relation to you. But that does imply separation. And it's interesting that he gets engaged to someone who also shares your name. He's talking about you, he's talking about that person's name. And I don't know, again, if you're doing it in first person, third person, how you were imagining it, but you see maybe your assumptions, because that might also be a deeper assumption about other people getting what you want, or competition again, not feeling chosen. So God, I know it's like it's so painful and stuff, but learn from this experience so that you can change it, so that this same pattern doesn't come with you everywhere else. You know what I mean? Like, yes, let's cry, let's be human about it. Let's express how we feel. Let's vent. I always grant myself the permission to vent and to rage, even if I know I'm doing the wrong thing. Like, you think when I was on those dating apps, do you think I was just like, yes, I'm in the right state, I'm doing the right? No, I knew what I was doing. I knew it was going to blow up in my face. Of course it was. I wasn't in the right state and I knew it, but I just let myself do it because I was like, I need to mess up for a little bit. Until I can actually get to a better place, and then I'll shift, then I'll sort it out. And I mean, it worked out perfect, right? So vent, cry, feel bad about it, but then take a step back and try to be objective, because your imaginal scene has manifest. I mean, he's talking to people, he's saying, Alejandro, if this is someone he's marrying or whatever, he's proposed to or engaged with, and that, he's talking about Alejandro to his friends. But I don't know, again, you know, what you've impressed, how you've impressed, but if you're with someone, that's not really the experience. The experience is that you're together, that it feels normal that you're together, not that they're having a conversation about you. Like, you know what I mean? It implies separation. I hope that makes sense. Where I'm so cold, it's kind of like hard to concentrate. Victoria, Hannah, my darling, hi baby. Hello, my love, I adore you. Hope you're well. Mwah. Hello, Victoria. How are you? I've missed you. Violet, Willow, Athena, how did you manifest this long chilly call? I wish I could give you a warm cardigan. Oh my God, I would love that right now. In fact, it might be safe to go in soon. In fact, it's been 2 hours, 20 minutes. I might leave it there. But yeah, I could do with the cardi. I could do with that. I'll get under my heated blanket in a bit. Actually, I mean, it wasn't that bad today, but I suppose where the sun is setting, it's getting a bit later. And I was meant to see, I don't know where her message is. Okay, that's okay. Because I was meant to see one of my girls, Christina, today. She's actually someone who had followed me on TikTok since the beginning, and we've become friends, and she's come to England a couple of times, so she's visiting now, and I was meant to see her tonight for us to hang out again. But I had a bit of an upset tummy, and I think she's had a bit of a long day. I had a really upset tummy, actually. But strangely enough, talking to you guys and hanging out here, I feel great. I feel great. That's the energy of just being in good company. You see, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here with me, by the way, everybody. You know, I do think of you as like my friends and my family, and I love our hangouts every Friday. And I know I don't always do a live every Friday like this, and I did actually have the intention to do more lives. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, if you don't have your bell on or whatever, however it works, please put it on, because I'm thinking to be a bit more sporadic. And I might not always have lives that are planned like this. So if you feel that you want to join and be a part of it, or any other random thing that I might do, then definitely stick on your notifications as well, so that you don't miss out. Because I mean, this is just a free-for-all, you know. I try and answer as many as I can. Obviously, I don't get round to all of you, and I do apologize if I haven't. We'll see if I've got any others to kind of just quickly address. Cato Base, I recognize you, Cato Base. How do I do my weight loss journey without effort like you did? Cato Base, it was literally, I mean, one of the biggest things for me was when I spoke to my friend and I adopted her mindset and the assumptions that I can eat what I want and I have a high metabolism. My body just knows how to get to the weight, to its ideal weight. Like, I would listen to her talk, I would see her relationship with food, and I would adopt that. I would imagine my ideal body. I would weigh myself, and when I would weigh myself, it was like I would see through the scales. I've done a video actually on my sort of physical change journey and what I did, because I lost quite a lot of weight, and then it sort of petered out for a bit, and then it carried on declining, but it went on a more gradual decline. And then like to this day kind of thing, like I still put people in shock with how much I eat. But then see, occasionally, and every time I set the intention for weight loss though, it still seems to go down a route of I go off food, or it's some sort of sickness or something. So now I've got this like belly upset. Yay, I got to a weight that I was like, oh, let me try this weight, and I want to fit into these nice clothes and stuff. Yeah, I fit great, but not great how that happened. So that's an assumption I thought I'd change, but has yet to be fully expressed. That I lose weight naturally and stuff, but it doesn't come at the cost of like sickness. But you see, where I don't exercise and stuff, maybe that was just the other avenue. But yeah, assumptions on fast metabolism, assumptions on being able to eat what you want, imagine or act on your ideal physique, what that looks like, see it for yourself, that kind of thing. Kira, Chloe, one day I made a firm decision to stop manifesting from sadness and lack. I found your content, then my SP, my ex, called me 5 days later for a really sweet conversation. Congratulations, Kira, Chloe. Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing that, darling. Please do share. Like, Kira, if you've got my email, Athena, what the hell is my email, guys? That's not my email. My email is contact@athenaravencoach.com. Kira, Chloe, and anyone else who has got some cool success stories, like share them. Like I say, I screenshot them, I shout them out on my videos, and I've been sharing them with the Discord community members or on my website as well. They're really, really inspiring. So Kira, like share, like, what did you do? What was it that made you able to stick to that decision? Because we can always make a decision, but it doesn't necessarily stick or impress. So what was different? What did you find from my content that really helped you? Yes, thank you. I know I need to warm myself up. I'm shaking. I'm probably shaking the phone. I'll look back at this live and it's just gonna be like just vibrating. I've been leaning my phone like this as well on my leg. My SP of 7 years contacted me the day I told him to F off. It was so funny. I got back on a dating site, started dating, and other life upgrades. I know it's because the pressure is off. How do I keep it? But Marcella, I mean, you already are like, what? You're already doing great. How do I keep the pressure off so I can stay in the relationship I'm now developing? Darling, whatever imaginal act you do, whatever exercise you do, you're looking to embody that version of you who has these assumptions around love and relationships, and that determines how you show up in your loving relationships. Look at your SP of 7 years. You've just proven that when you no longer put up with breadcrumbs, when you're no longer in that sort of desperate state of waiting, when you believe in yourself and you see that you are a prize. And again, this is not getting this stuff confused with dating advice, guys, because it's not the same. Dating advice will tell you all about acting cool and taking days to respond and stuff. But I know from experience and from that of my clients that even you can act cool and they'll still see through it if your state of being hasn't changed, because your energy speaks more. Your energy talks louder than anything. Have any of you ever been in a room with someone and felt their energy even before they've even said a word? The way that maybe they've walked into that room, or you felt the click of the connection just by standing, say, close to them, or even if you just exchanged a couple of words, you felt click with that person. So I mean, the energy is just like palpable between us. But really continuing to believe in yourself, Marcella, and embodying and embracing that identity that knows her worth, that knows that she is loved, that knows that, look at him and how he's coming back. 7 years he's dedicated to. You're obviously important. You're obviously capable of having long-term relationships. And you're able to now be in a position where you can even choose someone else if you want to as well, right? You've put yourself into an abundant state. So that's how you stay in it, right? That's how you stay, keeping aware of this. Lumi, what is that? Athena, don't ever forget to just be unfuckwithable. What is that even? I love that. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, guys. I am so cold. So I do a couple more quickly. Bye, Holly. I really need your help. Athena, my mom has extreme negative assumptions that cause her to have a failed surgery. She needs further surgery. But okay. So you be the voice of reason, as in you go and let's see if I can go inside a little bit. As in, she might not have great assumptions in terms of maybe not like the most positive assumptions, but you have the ability as well to create a version of her that is healed and safe. It's like my mum, you know, actually she had a pretty positive mindset with her surgery, but she was still anxious in that. And so I had to come in with seeing her healed and fine, even if she was like doubtful. And having conversations as well with your mom can really help. I tell you what, no, what's a better example to give? Like my friends who don't even know about manifesting, who were just like, nah, that wouldn't happen and stuff. So what I would tend to do is I would have a conversation with them about it. Yeah, okay, fine. But, you know, what if this happened actually? Like I did with my friend, Chris, who really wanted a job as a drumming teacher. He already had a part-time job, but what he wanted another part-time job that would match the hours so it looked like a full-time job. But the problem is he didn't have mode of transportation, so it would have to be something local. This is a very small town. There are no music shops here. The school he already worked at was not about to give him extra hours, so he was kind of like, oh, well, residing to the fact that he might have to work in some random shop. That's not his dream or his goal. So I just spoke to him in a way that opened him up to it. I didn't say manifest. I didn't say anything. I just said, yeah, but you know what? I said, well, imagine if they did open up a store. Like, can you tell me a bit about what kind of hours would you work that would be ideal? You know, what kind of students would you have and stuff? Well, you know, would you work all of the days that you had off, or would you work just some days? What kind of money and everything? And I would have a conversation, and we were just kind of like relaxed. I could tell he was imagining it, obviously, to answer my questions. So you can put that to your mum as well, you know, like, mum, like, you know, what if, you know, this surgery would go, well, what would you like to do to celebrate the success of this surgery? You know, what would be the ideal outcome and stuff? And like I say, you imagine with her too, but I think it's always nice to have the person on side as well, if you can do that. But also you imagine her ideal outcome. Don't think of her as, oh, my mum with the terrible assumptions. Think of her as my mum who is healed and had a successful surgery. Lucia, I think I really love your video and the advice you always give. However, I don't understand, how do I just change my identity? I feel like I'm trying to do so, but I don't know how. So Lucia, good question. I mean, it's like I share all the time, really. A lot of the stuff that I'm sharing with you guys is how you do it. Like, for example, challenging your assumptions, right? The assumption stack, that's the way to change your identity. The imaginal acts, right? I'm imagining as if this was sorted, this was solved, which means I must step into the consciousness of that version of me who has the desire. That version of me is a different version. It's a different state, right? It has different assumptions, has different thoughts and views about the world. Imaginal acts, assumption stacking, hypnosis. I've got the hypnosis. So these are always, there's no one size fits all, one way to do it all. You know, every person that I work with, I tailor it based on what they tell me and what their language tells me that they would be really good at. For some people, yes, it's all into hypnosis. It's really powerful. For a lot of people, I will really just be challenging them and talking to them a certain way, challenging their fears, get them to do a little imaginal act just by talking. Like I just demonstrated just now for Holly. Hi, Brody. Hi, darling. I haven't seen you for a while, Brody. Where you been? Joanna, every time I visualize manifesting a new partner, my brain keeps showing me people I already know. Why does my mind do that? Do I need to detach from people I know so that I remain open to someone new? Oh, Rick, yes, I am reading super chats, darling. Have I missed a super chat somewhere? Can someone please tell me if I've missed any super chats? Because I had a few come in at the same time. So let me know if I've missed. Let me know. But Joanna, yeah, when you're, so I mean, what tends to happen though is, say I'm imagining love or something like that, and if I am trying to embody this state of connectivity on a general basis, your brain might fill in the gap with someone who's already familiar to you for one reason or another, and they will use that person as a symbol for what that person represented in your life. So maybe these people is not a bad thing. They're a representative, just a face sort of thing, a shadow of connection that you have with people, or a connection that you had, a sense of comfort. I mean, when I was imagining for my perfect person list, and I was fantasizing about my ideal guy before Joseph came in, you know, a lot of things that I had in that mental list of mine, how he made me feel, to me, it felt like a fantasy character, and my imaginal actor was a fantasy character. It was that actor from because usually that's what my subconscious will do. I will use actors or characters in movies and stuff. So the guy from Lord of the Rings, we had a discussion about this on our Discord. Because it was just so embarrassing, because I was just like, yes, I had a crush on the elves, and yes, you know, he was my representation of this masculine figure that was like protecting me and whatever else, and it was a complete fantasy scene. It made no sense, but the experience that the scene gifted me, I was protected, I was chosen, I was nurtured. This was someone who was fully devoted to me, my king, because he was the elf king. So it was like everything actually that I had experienced with Joseph, because I didn't really have it to that degree before. So maybe that's why I was like, well, create this like fantasy, you see. So it doesn't matter too much. It could just be that that's what your brain is doing, is showing you people that you already know as a sort of representation. My greatest success was I manifested 10K, mainly because I didn't care. And a week later, my sister told me she owes me 10K in my bank account. The Spider-Man, you can absolutely do it the same way with your SP. I mean, the process and the mechanic is exactly the same. The only thing that makes it different are your assumptions around money in relation to love. You have got assumptions around love that make it seem like it's harder, that make it seem like it's different. But any manifestation, whether you're manifesting a free coffee, to finding a coin on the street, to 10 grand in your account, consciousness doesn't know size. It's all the same, but we're the ones who size it. We're the ones who say, well, yeah, those are the things that don't matter, or the things that are small, they're easier. There's no such thing. No such thing. They're all the same, right? They all involve a bridge of events. They all involve an impression to be made. And so try and ascertain, what is it about your assumptions that cause you to say, I wish I could do it with SP, as though this is different? What assumptions do you have in relation to your SP that are making you find it harder in comparison to money? Because some people will be like, 10K? Man, I can't even manifest like a $5, let alone 10K. You know what I mean? I've been that cold and it's not fun. I know, Elwin, it wasn't fun. It's nice and toasty in here, though. I'm just all like, I'm using my stand actually to rest my arm. So you still got a bit of the outside lighting. Thanks for sharing so many juicy gems with us. Big hugs. Please keep warm. Oh, it's insanely warm in Malaysia. Send it. YP, was it YP? PY555. Send that excess heat over here. I will gladly have it. Gladly, my friend. So what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to leave it there because it's very cold and my neck is starting to hurt by holding this phone. But check out my guns. Yeah, building up the guns. Thank you, Violet Willow. It is a bit warmer lighting, isn't it? It was just so cold. First time catching a live. Thank you for your time and space, Miss Spino. My pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. You've made my life so much better, and I apply it to every aspect. Fire Holly, I'm really glad to hear that, darling. Thank you, guys. Rosie, Joseph says that all the time about Florida, don't you? Rosie was saying, Athena, you need to come to Florida for the heat.
Yes.
He would love that.
I always said, if I were to have moved back, or if we go, we are going to Florida.
We will go.
We're going to Florida.
It just means that.
What? I melt whenever I'm in her arms.
This is the thing that he does. This is the thing that he does lately. You guys don't realize how goofy this boy is. I mean, he's always so serious on his videos. Hi, my name's Joseph Ally. Welcome to my channel. And then he'll be really serious and stoic throughout. And I'm just like, do people know how much of a like clown you are off camera? And that he's like the biggest goofy, my favorite. He's just so funny. It's so ridiculous. I love you guys. Oh my God, please save me. He's so ridiculous. What's been happening? You smell like apples.
Joseph, what do you think that is?
You had apple juice?
Nope. My vape.
Oh my God, it smells like apple
I know, that's
juice,
why I
man.
love it. What do you think?
Wow.
That's why I can't stop the vaping. It's not the nicotine.
Kind of delicious.
I know. Why do you think I've been trying to peer pressure?
You like bite him like it. I swear to God, this is why? This is what we're like on a regular basis, like seriously.
All day long.
We are so ridiculous. Like we take nothing seriously. And which I suppose you have to be like this, really, because after a while, we work so much, you would just go insane. That's his frog impression. Let's see, he's just a big frog. I love you. You see, this thing keeps on like pulling my
Well, tell it to stop.
microphone. Stop pulling my top down. I love you guys. Thank you so much for
apple juice.
joining us. Now he's having apple juice, you see. My manifestation. You can have this in your life, darling. Many of you have manifested this already anyway. Like I know many of you did your list and you're like, my perfect person came in. I know I've worked with many of you. But I love you.
Oh, guys, by the way, on the Neville AI now, there's a new feature to help you establish and figure out your assumptions based upon the desire alone. So you put in your desire. I'm really proud of this, by the way, as you might be able to tell. You put in your desire or you select a desire that you've already added to your account, and then you click generate assumptions or extract assumptions or something like this. And it will automatically come up with a set of assumptions that would be ideal for you in order to manifest that desire. So things to facilitate the ease and effortlessness, the quickness of it. People have already been using it. It's already been working. I've used it and it's amazing. So I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah, it's been awesome.
That's really cool. I know I was telling everyone that the successes are starting to come in and that. And we've had some really good feedback. Actually, keep your feedback coming about the Neville AI and how you guys are getting on. Like there's a free version. Go use it.
And soon there's going to be a success story / testimonial feed on the website itself so that people can see when someone manifests something or when someone has some sort of success from the app or related to even just manifesting in general. But that's going to be on the website, probably coming today or tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that if you want success stories that are based on the app to give you the confidence that it's the right thing for you. You know.
Erin doing her assumptions tomorrow. Rosie was asking, is the assumptions on the app working for Apple users now?
Yeah, but it should be, unless there's a glitch I don't know about. I just went on the app a couple minutes ago and I saw that it was there, which means that it would have been released. So give it a try. Let me know. I appreciate it, your feedback.
Yeah, please, guys, because as you know, I mean, Joseph's been working on this by himself.
The only coder. Yeah.
He's the only coder. He's working on it relentlessly, honestly, for every single day for months and months and months. So he's happy to share it with you guys. If you do come across any glitches in that, because it's still new and it's definitely new in terms of app, message either myself or Joseph immediately, and he can tend to it, because I know it's still going to have some, it's still going to have some fine tuning required, and we rely on you guys to, let us know, basically. But like I said, there's a free version. Go and enjoy. The free version gives you access to so many things. It's changed so many lives already. And if you need more support, if you like these live sessions, I'll do more on the channel, but we've also got more deeper dive sort of intense ones where we respond to everybody on the one on our Discord as well. So if you do need more support, come join us there. But I love you guys. Again, thank you so much for joining us. And Fire Holly, how do you mean, like how to join or how to get the app or something? If you go on my videos, like all the links are usually they're in the description box.
If they go to mynevillegoddard.com, also the download links are on the website as well.
mynevillegoddard.com as well, the download links for the apps. are there.
You can also use the app just on
I didn't even know.
just on the browser. You know, let them know that as well.
Oh yeah, use it on the browser as well. That's what I mean. I still have the browser one, but I've been using the app more now. But yeah, I still have the browser one too. And the Conscious Engineers website, consciousengineers.com, is how you join our Discord. But again, that is, the link is on the description of a lot of my videos. And if I remember, I'll put it in the description here too. Okay, so you have all the links that you need. It's always available. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. Yes, Violet, will I recommend so that's why I recommend any imaginary. It doesn't have to be like in the state akin to sleep. It could be whilst you're washing dishes. You do go in a state akin to sleep when you're washing dishes in a way, because it's like a hypnotic state. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Thank you for being here. And I'll catch you in the next video on the flip flop. Yeah. Say bye, Joey. Bye, Coco Beanie.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.